Now you have time to think.
The law of gravity. That sounds more official.
Now we have sound.
Yep, there we go. Wait. Okay. Someone say something. We'll try it out here.
La la la.
Okay. There's lots of...
I'm in space.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone, for your heads up. Sorry, new equipment, and yeah, apparently setting it up is not setting it up. And I didn't set it up. Awesome, for this particular stream. So, yeah. Welcome everyone to the Stalwart Initiative. We're back. Take 3. Ventures in the Verse. D&D 5e. Dark Matter System. We love it. It's in space. Holy fuck. I can say that because this is Twitch. And, yeah. We're back. Take 3. Taylor, introduce yourself and Ruby. This is well versed now, so you should you should be very, very spot on with everything. Go ahead, no pressure.
Don't expect too much from me.
Yeah.
I am Taylor. You can find me on Twitter at Lives and Lemons, also on Twitch under the same name, but there are underscores. I am playing Ruby Knack, a star gnome. She is a monk, and I took Way of Gravity, which means that I can walk on the ceiling, and I have done so. And will do so again.
That's right, multiple times. Great subclasses offered in the Dark Matter system. They're running a Kickstarter right now. Go check it out. Twitter Vecna. I gotta message you guys on Twitter and got questions because I need to see what tier I want to lock in at later on then. But yeah, check that stuff out on Kickstarter. Everyone, awesome. Let's slide on down to Graham. Graham, can you introduce yourself and Arza to us, please?
Yes. Hi, everybody. It's been a while. My name is Graham, and you can find me at GrahamHall802 on Twitter, or you can find me here every week on this show. But today, I have the luxury of playing Arza Vosh, your favorite changeling rogue, using the Dark Matter subclass of Jumper, letting me teleport like a ninja. That's all I've got, though.
Awesome.
That's my intro.
Well, we've got Gravity, we've got Ninja. Let's slide on over to Katie. And Katie, can you introduce yourself and Val to us, and maybe see what cool subclass option you went with?
I'm Katie Quixotic. You can find me everywhere as Katie Quixotic, and I'm playing Val, who is a Sepulchre Knight Paladin, which is definitely specific to Dark Matter. They're super cool. The whole lore behind the Sepulchre Knights and being like a mediator group is really cool. So that really spoke to me in this sort of like establishing order in the chaos that is the universe. She's kind of like a stoic individual. She's a Kalashtar, and I kind of felt like the way that Kalashtar would end up, millennia in the future when all this stuff is possible, would be kind of like where the Vulcans sit a little bit, with the whole like disconnected from a lot of other things. They have like these spirits tied to them, and so especially going into like Sepulchre Knights, it seems like they would be like an obvious fit. So she's kind of stoic on the outside, and she's very like goal oriented. And that's Val.
Awesome. Thanks, Vec. Boy, yeah. I don't know. New mixer, lots of buttons. I don't know what the fuck's going on over here, but we're gonna figure it out. Thank you so much. Yeah, and yeah, Val is as kind of our impromptu leader here, because seems like the most headstrong of us goofy bastards. And yeah, I'll be playing Kyle. I'll be playing Zama Rarick, and Zama is a Aviara, and I am going to be a part Sun Above cleric and part Circle of Configuration druid. So both two new subclasses. I just thought it worked well for the story. For the story I have in mind for Zama, so we went that route, and oh man, yes, having so much fun with it. Story-wise, being the awkward owl guy, the elf owl, which I thought was ironic because the war with the elves and the Aviara, why not? So very cool, having a blast, and let's turn it over to Derek while I try to hammer out these audio issues. Derek, can you introduce yourself and then also just bring us into today's game?
Hi everyone, I am Derek Sword. I am, as always, your DM for this wonderful Saturday Dark Matter game. If you want to find me anywhere online, the best place is Twitter, dsword16. That's actually the same username to use for Twitch and Discord as well. And I'll save all the finer plugs for the end, but yeah, Twitter's the best place. You can see most of what I'm doing there. To jump in, just to give a recap of what's happened so far, because we did take a couple of weeks off. Our adventurers began this whole story by meeting with a mercenary, kind of well renowned, no job too dirty kind of individual, a Goliath named Volkreek Hammertooth. They met in a bar where Volkreek basically told them that he didn't have any better candidates and he might as well hire them for the big job that he had coming up. They accepted, got a drink, only to find out they were being watched by an unscrupulous individual. When Volkreek noticed, he ushered them out, only for them to encounter several armed soldiers in the hallways of this space station. They fought their way past, got to Volkreek's ship, only for a massive ship to decloak in front of them, fire at Volkreek's ship. Volkreek was able to do a rift jump, basically jump through space, but the attack did land, and his ship was ready to explode. In the last final seconds, Volkreek got our adventurers onto the escape shuttle, shot them off, and exploded with the ship. Our adventurers then found that the shuttle they were on was destined for a planet that Volkreek had pre-programmed in. They landed on a floating station and encountered Red, who is a halfling with some, again, unscrupulous ties. He informed them that if they wanted to get anywhere, they would have to work for him, and he then sold them a ship at a very high premium and informed them they could pay it off by doing jobs for him. So that's what they've been doing this whole time. Their first job, in addition to cleaning up the ship and discovering AI aboard, which they have, for the most part, befriended, um, their first major job was to intercept a transport and the cargo on that transport of roaches, which are psychic insects, which are not only illegal but also in high demand because they allow for rift jumps to be more successful. Um, they got aboard, found a monster which had been assuming the form of several of the crew. Were able to defeat the monster, met the captain, got a dog. They have a dog now, crocodile actually, half crocodile, half dog, named Lockjaw, and did get their cargo aboard and bid farewell to the pirate captain. They got aboard their ship and realized they had a little extra time, so they were in a ship graveyard, the site of a ship battle, as far as they could tell, and did a little scavenging. So for those of you who are keeping track, they did get a hold of a light cannon, a dead reckoner, and repair drones for their ship, which none of yet has been attached except for the repair drones, which are magnetically attached. But they got everything on board, only to then receive a message from Red that they are not to come back to the raft. He has set up a buyer. They've already paid, and he sent them coordinates and a meeting point and who they're going to meet to then offload these roaches. So you've received the message from Red. He indicated, once again, not to return, but you're going to act as couriers for these illicit insects. The coordinates that he sent you are going to take you within the borders of the Elven Empire to a sizable moon called Malar 5. So that's the coordinates that he sent you. He did indicate that the buyer is a dark elf going by the name of Talus. And that's the info that he sent you. He sent you direct coordinates on the moon itself. So you do know where you're supposed to go, and Talus is supposed to be there. He did also note that Talus's ship is called the Crow's Bounty, which is an elven sunhopper. You do get that info as well. So that's what you're informed of. What would you all like to do?
Did you already say how long it was going to take us to get there?
So you'll be able to, from where you are in the verse, which I did actually print on map. I have a cheat sheet now, so I have
Ooh,
several
nice.
cheat sheets. They're all great. So from where you were in the verse, it will just be impulse travel. You won't need to do a rift jump to get there, and it'll be just maybe 6 hours of impulse travel. You shouldn't need to worry about the roaches in that period of time, and yeah, you should be able to arrive with plenty of time.
I say we boogie.
Yeah, should definitely start heading that direction.
Okay. So do you guys want to pilot the ship? You do have the option. Homer, who was your AI, as a reminder for everyone, did inform you that he does have the ability to autopilot. Should you all want to take you can consider this a long rest, in that period of time.
Homer.
I'll
Yes.
pilot.
Oh, never mind. I do think that we should work to avoid any traditionally occupied space along the journey. Whether through Arza's plotting or a combination of work between the two of you.
Well, I know plenty of spots that are safe to travel. So, sure as I'm a halfling, I can do that.
Okay, so Arza is a halfling again.
Yeah, because we
Okay.
were speaking on the hologram with
That's right. That's
Red.
right.
When you say that, there's like a
I think everyone in the room is just like,
I mean, have I ever led any of you astray? Actually, don't answer that. I'm just gonna take the wheel.
I would like to take a long rest.
Okay.
I'm going to be resting as well.
Absolutely.
All right. So Arza, you are left in the cockpit by yourself. Then, are the rest of you going back to your quarters, or is there anything else you'd like to do in the ship?
No, quarters are fine. I'd
Okay.
like to try and lure Lockjaw back with me with the kibble that I got from the fabricator.
Fabricator.
Yeah, you have like a very traditional looking dog biscuit, and yeah, Lockjaw's just kind of patting along after you back to your quarters. All right. Well then, yeah. If all of you are going to take a long rest, Graham, go ahead and just do a piloting check, just
Sure.
and we'll move from there.
Do I have to do anything specific for the the jetpack to recharge, or is it just do it on its own?
Does it on its own.
Okay.
That's a 27 for piloting, Chief.
You'll be just fine.
Oof.
In fact, you actually probably cut a little time off of it. You know, when we talk hours, time is all measured by this kind of like universal time, which is held by, I think it's one of the main human planets. So yeah, when you consider an hour, it's that amount of time as you're moving through space. 60 minutes. As the rest of you take a long rest, Val, I'll have you make a wisdom saving throw. Actually, make a wisdom check, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, 1 second. I almost clicked saving throw, which of course is higher than the wisdom check. There we go. 11. Oh, is this against a spell effect or anything?
It's not a spell effect. This
Okay.
is we'll just use wisdom for when your Kalashtar connection is kind of affecting you, which happens as you sleep. So then Ruby and actually everybody else go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw. Even
I'm
Arza.
going to go ahead.
Hey, considering I have a 0 modifier, that's pretty solid.
Me too.
Whew.
Okay.
Nom, nom, nom,
Yeah. So all of you that are sleeping, you're kind of having your whatever you consider a normal dream, the surrealism of it. Val's dreams always have had more structure to them. The entity that she is paired with, that she's bound to, has always allowed for more control, even more detail in dreams. Dreams have always had more of a sense of reality than surreality, even though they might have some surreal nature to them. But Val, you've been having the previous dream you had was a strange one. You saw someone you'd never seen before, which is technically impossible. But it's not the first time it's happened because your connection has allowed for foretellings, what has been, what is, maybe what will be. And as you fall asleep, your dream starts up again. But this one's different. As we see Val, we can kind of see this like energy almost emitting from her. It's the same color as her hair, and in kind of a flash, it just washes over the ship. And all of you realize as you look around in the dream realm, Arza included. Arza, the cockpit has disappeared, and you're now standing all next to each other. Even Lockjaw's there, and you're standing kind of on this endless plane of night, with stars all around you, even beneath you on the floor. And then in a flash, you're standing on a city street, and all around you, people are walking. They're kind of walking past you without looking. They're all humans. It's populated. There's buildings everywhere. Seems to be kind of a metropolis area that you're in. So very much a well-populated city. And before you is a massive, massive tower. More than a skyscraper. This thing literally reaches well beyond what would be possible with normal, what we consider, earthly materials. It seems this thing is almost reaching past the where the ozone layer would be. It's very extensive, perhaps even reaching up into space itself. And as you're standing there, the sun in the sky shifts, and you are all standing in the shadow of this tower. And the blackness of it just seems to kind of loom over you. And all the people on the street are gone. And you see that shadow, that single band of darkness, extend into five. It fans out into the shape of a hand. And that black hand comes slamming down on all of you. And you don't feel anything, it doesn't hurt. But you can almost sense a pressure of it. And now you're all standing over the verse, over what you've always seen as the galactic map of what the verse is. You can see the different areas where the Elven Empire would be, the Dwarven hegemony, or the human hegemony, or the Dwarven Conclave is what it is. You see all these different spaces, you see all these different stars, these suns, these solar systems, and you watch as each of these little bits of light start to blink out, one by one, and before long, it's a rapid succession where the light that is shining on you is diminishing at such a rate that in seconds you're in absolute blackness once again. And this is a different blackness. When you first started, it was almost like you yourselves could see each other. Now there's nothing. And then from that nothing, Val, you see a familiar figure. You see this hooded elven woman who once again takes down her hood and looks to all of you and says, "You are our only hope." And that's the end of the dream. And you all snap back. Arza, you realize that you've been piloting successfully this entire time. It's been the 6 hours at this point. You all wake up, and I guess, what would you all like to do now? I can describe what Arza sees, or you all can have reactions. We'll leave that.
what was the first light that was extinguished? Like, would I be able to pinpoint at least the general
That's fine.
spot?
It was almost like fireflies in the field. You know, it's hard to tell which one was first. You know, you're looking at this massive galaxy with near countless stars. It might have even taken a second to realize that they were blinking out. Um, if you had to guess, it was probably maybe somewhere between the Elven Empire, the Avia Ra Holy Lands, and the Dwarven Conclave, maybe.
Okay.
But yeah, it'd be really hard to tell.
Do first of all, do I recognize that? Do I feel like this was a dream that only I had, or could I like tell that this was different and that their presence was like more palpable
You all
in a
did
way?
see each other there, and I think Val would be able to tell that. Oh, that wasn't Dream Arza. That wasn't Dream Ruby. That you were all standing side by side. This absolutely was a vision, and I think Val would know that they were experiencing the same thing. I'm not sure Val would know that she was the one that pulled them into it.
Yeah, probably not. What did Arza look like in the dream?
Oh, geez. Arza did not look like any of the forms that you've seen before. It was this almost featureless gray face, uh, with that kind of moved malleably, I guess. Like features would be kind of shifting, like eye colors would be changing a myriad of colors. Uh, Lips would be changing from slim to full, ears to pointed to rounded. Almost like Arza themselves didn't have control necessarily of a set identity.
Okay.
That's a good question. Yeah, how does Arza dream of themselves?
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
So I think at that point, I wake up, and I kind of like do the bolt upright thing, and do like a quick like splash water on my face, dry it off, like get dressed, and just like walk out into the hallway and wait to see if anyone else has woken up.
Yeah, Val, you exit your room and kind of your boots clank on the metal grating that leads to the hallway. What is everyone else doing?
I'm gonna poke my head out.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, "Help us, Obi-Wan Kenobi." Just kidding.
You poke your head out and Lockjaw like kind of does the same, but kind of like looks up at you. It's very Shaggy Scooby.
Did you? Did? Eh? That's never happened to me before.
I've never had an experience like that either. It was like similar to a dream.
Did you
But
recognize the woman?
I've seen her before in my sleep.
Oh, I've never seen her before.
She was important.
Let's go find Arza.
Arza's in the cockpit, still sitting in the pilot's chair, right where you left them.
What do I see from the pilot's cockpit? And secondly, while I'm taking a look around when I get my bearings, Homer, would you be a dear and get me a coffee, maybe a big mug, and maybe like a lot of sugar in it. Make it real strong. I've been awake
Can I
for
have
a
a
while.
shot of whiskey?
No, not while driving, at least.
Absolutely, Arza. I shall get that for you post haste. And yeah,
Well,
probably
ain't you?
The fluctuating prism that is Homer arrives probably at the same time as Ruby and Val, and it's kind of like floating a mug that says "World's Best Pilot."
If he hadn't do that, I was literally going to write it in Sharpie.
World's most okayest pirate.
Sorry,
Pirate!
versus
Hasn't
best
failed.
pilot.
Hasn't failed a pilot
Pirate.
check yet.
Versus best pilot, not just the world.
I also realized I earlier said that the Kalashtar were like Vulcans. I meant that the Sepulchre Knights were like an order of Vulcans, and that the Kalashtar were like the Dax.
Well, you
That's what
just
I meant to
ruined
say.
my immersion.
I know. I'm sorry.
Yep. We have to start
I
all
understand
over.
none of these references.
So you all get to the cockpit. I guess I guess all except for what is Zama doing?
Zama would have woke up from the dream and pulled out his dream journal and began to scribble the occurrence, dwell on it for a few seconds. No, for a long time. I'd say probably a few minutes behind, and then he'll get up and if it's when we would wake up normally anyway, then he will wake up and then go join everybody else, but not. He's had fucked up dreams forever, so yeah, it's just he's assuming that it is a super vivid dream, and
Sure.
yeah,
And probably to Zama, the idea of suns, of stars being snuffed out is a terrifying thought.
yeah, and this is the dread that we worry about, but I have faith in the sun above that it was this is all just a sign, and it's okay. Just means I'm on the right path, nothing to worry about. So when he gets up to everybody else who might be talking or freaking out about it, he's gonna be pretty calm because he just assumed it was just a vivid dream or a sign to be read and analyzed, but not, yeah. Didn't know anybody else shared it.
All right. So to answer Graham your question, what you all see when you arrive at the cockpit and see Arza, you see as the Odyssey begins its approach to you seem to be Malar 5. That is what the coordinates are directing you towards. It is a vibrant moon full of greens and blues. More greens than blues. It's not. It's probably the reverse of Earth, where there's more forest than sea, but absolutely does have blue water there as well. Its colors are even more enhanced beyond what you consider their normal quality by the contrast of what this moon is orbiting. It's orbiting a massive looming gas giant that its color is hues of blacks and gray, and it has these periodical shudders of electricity, of kind of lightning, which surge across the surface. What you have to imagine are these incomprehensibly massive storms, these world-sized storms within this gas giant itself. So that's what you see as you approach. And as you continue to move into Malar 5's airspace, you can now see more closely the large, nearly endless swaths of green forest. And beneath them within the forest itself is a large material complex, kind of this shining metal city almost. Doesn't seem to have roads. It almost seems to have like these branches which extend outwards. And at the center is a large glass dome, and you can see as you are approaching, there is a parking lot, a landing spot, a landing pad for ships, and there are already numerous ships on the landing pad as it is, but there's still open spots. And as you get closer, you see that the docking station has a lot of elven ships, which you would identify because elven ships are actually made from trees. They're almost like living trees that are able to contain life and operate in space. But there's several other makes and designs present as well. So you touch down on the open landing space that you see, and you hear the landing gear connect with the metal surface of the construct you have landed on, and you have all now landed.
Is Malor 5 the system or the planet?
That is the name of the moon.
The moon. Okay, and it is mostly forest and a little bit of water.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you ever have questions about known places, those are always questions you can refer to Homer as well. He could also do history checks and things like that for you guys.
Okay.
Uh, where were we told by Red where we were to meet this client? Were they to meet us on the docks, or are we supposed to go get them?
He gave you a name, the name of the ship, and this is where the coordinates took you.
Okay. Well, I suppose we should be go looking for that ship now, shouldn't we?
Are we just not gonna talk about that weird freaking dream we had? All of us together? I don't know about you guys, but I don't necessarily know that I want to share a dream world with all of you.
I had my
I
own.
doubt
Are you
it will
gonna-
happen too many more times.
I don't want you to show up in my dreams. Some of them are private.
Now that was just absolutely too much information. See, I didn't. Oh, jeez. Here I thought I was daydreaming, cause I wasn't asleep.
No, I'm not sure what exactly happened, but it was most assuredly because of me, in a sense. My dreams always have form because of the history of my people, and it seems that you are all incorporated into it this time. Even you. And she looks down at the little croc dog and is kind of like pat pat.
He just kind of like tilts. Lockjaw just kind of like tilts his head, and the tongue just lolls out the side.
Doesn't make much sense. I felt very in control of my faculties. If it was your dream, then how were we able to be us in it, and not just manifestations of your dream? I've never had somebody else's dream. I don't. It felt fine to me. I didn't pee myself in my sleep. Nothing bad happened. I woke up. You know, I recorded it. How do we know it's your dream?
That is how I always feel in dreams. I don't necessarily know that it was my dream, but I do not dream as others dream. It is more like memories, and sometimes it's about possibilities. Not often, but the feeling is always the same.
Oh,
So is this like one of those like
that's cool.
chosen one called arms kind of things where we're expected to stop a giant hand from smashing a tower and then eating the universe?
Did anyone recognize that tower? Val said that she saw the elven woman, but I guess I didn't even think of like the place. Has anyone been there before?
Good
Well,
question. Do I know what
there were
tower
a
it
lot of
is?
humans.
You can all roll history checks. This is a tower that many of you may have heard about,
History.
or perhaps even seen.
High
Good
five,
thing I'm
Taylor.
the one that asked
Wow.
the question, because I sure don't know.
Wow, lucky for me, I've rolled really well today, and now we're gonna get into combat, and it's gonna be nat ones all day.
It's okay. Everybody has their place. You know, you drink and you know things.
Muggles have their place. Mudbloods have their place, and so do your clothes. That was a little Harry Potter musical for everyone.
Arza and Zama, the Z's have it. You would recognize this as the tower. It is. It's talked about a lot, especially in kind of like the back corners of bars, as the place where conspiracies are kind of born. The tower is a secret society. What it presents itself as is a secret society of wizards which help to govern and direct the hegemony of men. It is a literal tower, which is on the human home planet of High Terra. I should find that. And yeah, it's it's a governmental structure, but it's also an extra governmental structure. It's connected with liches a lot, but also liches in the setting aren't necessarily a bad thing, because the individual which guided the hegemony of men to the stars and the success that they have known so far was a lich, and not inherently evil for it. He was just someone who wanted to be long lived and wanted to govern through that time. So that was Terminus the First, was that lich, and Terminus the First was the one who established the tower, and
So are you saying it's called Terminal Tower?
it is called the tower.
Dang! For those of you not in the know, Derek and I are both in Ohio, and Terminal Tower is
Landmark.
It is a thing. But yes, it's.
I thought it was funny that the person who couldn't die's name was Terminus. That was what I thought. That's why.
Yeah, that's not a me thing. That's dark matter. Props to their writing staff for that. So the tower is kind of connected with whenever like a strange arcane item comes to light, they often have somebody like already on site in search of it. You know, there's a lot of stuff. Anytime something is weird or goes wrong in the verse, it's kind of like, oh, maybe the tower was behind it. They have a lot of agents that they send out, and it's kind of indicated that there's maybe more control, which is than what is seen on the surface. And the tower is only physically grown as well, so the image that you saw of it looming, it does extend into the stratosphere. It's grown more and more as these extraplanar materials have been used to build it higher and higher.
I bet they get pretty good cell phone service.
Can you get good cell phone service in space? I don't know.
I don't know.
Or maybe
Real close to that satellite.
could be bad cell phone service in the shadow side of the tower, depending on where the satellite is.
Yeah, I mean that sounds like the tower. Well, you know the big pointy thing that we saw on the thingamajig.
That is
It was a tower. The
Yeah,
tower?
The tower. It's like on Terra something. Terra card? No, that ain't it. High Terra, that's what it is. But it's a place with wizards and real spooky stuff. That's about all I know about it. Zama, you know anything else?
Yeah, predominantly human, but they're really fickle and they don't last long, you know. Yeah, I wouldn't. Why is an elf concerned with the human tower? I don't get it.
It seemed that the human tower was a danger, and that the elf was requesting our help. So it's less that she or they are likely involved with it so much as opposing it.
An elf asking me for help is a pretty far stretch. I was bullied as a small bird-faced man by elves. Yeah, but not elves aren't a big fan of my people. Not that I have any bias against them. Just a long-time grudge. Just seems weird. But maybe, I mean, you said it might be your dream, so that would make sense.
But also you are unlike many of your kind.
There's an understatement, yeah. True. I'm gonna go with the your dream thing, that way I don't get my hopes up. That I don't get stabbed at some point for just walking around.
There's no promise that we won't be stabbed at a place like this just for walking around.
Correct.
Well, on the bright side, at least none of us have been stabbed yet. I mean, most of us have been shot.
Wasn't I bitten by one of those husk things, or did they slash at me?
It slashed at you.
I think one of us has definitely been stabbed. I know we've also sustained a lot of injuries, but
In any case, we should look for this ship, and I think we should stay together. And Homer, definitely don't let anyone in but us until we come back and say otherwise.
we should have a secret passcode in case someone tries to get on board that looks like us or is claiming to be us but isn't us.
I believe he had the capacity to biometrically scan. Is that correct, Homer?
That is correct. Otherwise, Ozza would be a headache.
Well, my password is pineapple.
Noted.
I thought yours would be roaches.
That's a mean thing to say.
I know,
Isn't
that's
that
why
why
I
it would be
said
a
it.
good password? Because you would never say it?
Who's gonna just show up to a ship and say pineapple?
Person who prefers tropical fruits.
A pineapple dealer.
salesman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pineapples. Are there any?
Maybe
Pine-
someone going to Paradise 9?
All right, I'm gonna make up a word. I'm gonna call it Othbow.
I'm not going to remember that.
She's
That's
not
okay.
gonna.
It's my password.
She's not gonna write it down either, so she's not gonna remember it. She's never gonna be allowed back on the ship.
Oh,
It's
shucks.
just like, I mean, why don't you just start calling me short? Like, it's just make fun of Ruby Day? Let me give you some fodder.
Who's taller right now, me or Ruby? Or are we the same height?
Gnomes are taller than halflings, which I'm sorry if you're just learning this now. It blew my mind. But yeah, in the player's handbook, gnomes have the potential for being taller, I should say.
Well,
So,
Ruby's on the particularly short side anyway.
okay.
Is it making fun of you to simply state something that is true? You are not very tall, but there's no benefit or detriment to that necessarily, inherently.
Yeah,
Depends
I
on
mean,
how you say it.
it's like the saying
True.
goes, you know? Like, short people are the last ones to get rained on. But usually the first ones to drown.
Unless they can swim.
I don't see a whole lot of optimism in that saying.
I think it's an
Oh.
idiom.
Oh.
I think
I
that's
think
the
you're
word.
an idiot.
I mean, I am what I am. Can't change that. Well,
Oh, you
I
guys.
can
you
change
guys,
who
you
I am, I
guys.
suppose. But I'm gonna go to the armory and like check it out, see if there's anything. I don't want to go into this meeting with someone, I don't know, and have it go sour.
Yeah. So your ship doesn't necessarily have an armory, but
Oh, it does. Oh, yes, follow me. And I'll go and show them. Actually, finally get to show them all what I found.
Okay, so last we determined you had piled all that stuff on the table in the mess hall. Did you want to?
I piled all the odds and ends that I found, but the
Okay.
secret gun stuff all stayed there, except for I showed up with like the potions,
Right.
and the grenades or something.
Yeah.
I took
I piled-
those,
And
but
I
the
piled
guns are
something
still
in my
there.
room, right? Last episode, I feel like I found something on the ship. I had the medals that I took from their box, and I feel like I had something else.
Yeah, I want to say you found a repeater.
I think that's what it was.
I think it was from the person we killed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So, the armory had a wreck gun, 2 laser swords, 2 standard carbines, and 4 concussion grenades. So Val leads you all to this very conspicuous part of the hallway. There's a couple of kind of pipes. Just the main indicator for Val is I kind of imagine the ship a lot like the is it Nebuchadnezzar? No, whatever it is in Alien, where there's a lot of just pipes leading through. It's not like your streamlined kind of Star Trek hallway.
Yeah, it's raw looking.
Right. So the main indicator for Val was that the pipes actually kind of bend around this space, leaving this piece of wall open. Almost like if this thing wasn't there, it would make no sense to even bend the pipes in the first place, which is the big indicator for Val. So she presses on the secret panel, and it slides open, and you see all of these weapons kind of just sitting on racks inside the wall there. And then Val also had 2 cans of Crash, 2 attractor mines, 2 cans of nano something, nanobots, but she's not sure which one is repair and which one is
Destroy.
destroy. Yeah, de-repair, and a jetpack.
And you've all seen the jetpack, so then I'll unload the like grenades and the cans that I had taken and kind of put them where they were in the thing. Found this.
Oh, jeez.
It's impressive.
Well, I feel a little less bad about getting the ship from them.
You
This
didn't.
probably does not make up for the worth of what we are overpaying for it, but it does help.
Do you mind if I take one of the grenades?
I see this as available to anyone, unless someone has objections.
No, I don't. I don't use all that fancy stuff, so I don't mind. Although, those nanobots.
I believe
Thought those
so.
were cans of Crash.
Well, those are Crash, but these, they have nanites in them. I'm not sure which serves which function. The labels seem to be rubbed away.
Wonderful creatures. Just like hold it up and can you see inside, or is it just solid exterior?
You can't. They're almost like tall boy cans of like Mountain Dew. One of them it would be like, one of them's blue, one of them's red.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like most of the label has been scratched off. You can see like the nano, and then there's like a little cartoonized nanobot with like a thumbs up. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I would. Yeah. These are great. These are wonderful things. If you don't mind, hold on to them. At least try to figure out what they do.
Seems a reasonable outcome. I was unable to determine.
Yeah.
Oh.
So they both do have pull tabs on the top of them. So it's very much like a flashbang almost. You pull and then throw and hope for the best.
Even if they're good, you just kind of.
If they're good, you can hold on to it, but it's also going to be like a pop of nanobots.
I've got
Do
a
you wanna breathe
Pringles.
them in?
You got a Pringles can of nanobots holding it against your face. I hope these are the good ones.
Once you pop, the bots don't stop.
Yeah.
And Graham, for concussion grenades, it's spherical device dotted with blinking lights, so very much a thermal detonator.
Yeah.
Explodes in a wave of concussive force. As an action, you can throw this grenade up to 20 feet, which detonates a moment after impact, making a ranged attack against a creature or object, treating the grenade as an improvised weapon. On a hit, the target takes 1d8 thunder damage and is deafened until the beginning of your next turn. Additionally, each creature within 10 feet of the target must make a DC 12 dexterity saving throw, or also take this damage and be deafened for the same duration.
Oh heck, this is a lot of power.
Only got 4 of them.
Scout's honor, I won't throw them at any of us.
That thought had not occurred to me previously.
Well, I mean, I just thought it was a expression of trust and responsibility.
That's a stretch.
So there are still the 2 attractor mines, which are very much like landmine, like small dinner plate sized.
And they just
lunch
pull
plate
any
sized.
material at them, right? Or is that specifically metal?
They pull anything. It's kind of like they create a gravitational. Pretty sure.
Yeah, I think it's a little gravitational field.
Yeah.
Because I think that was going to be my if the roaches were loose, I was going to toss it in and suck them all at it. I'm going to take one of those.
Okay. Yeah, draws all objects within 5 foot cube towards it.
I'm gonna leave it. Ruby's a simple lady. All she needs is
And,
claws.
Okay. There's also a rec gun and 2 carbines, 2 laser swords. If anybody wanted those, otherwise you could leave them.
I'll leave them for now. I'm gonna run to my room real quick. Yeah, y'all talk amongst yourselves. I'm just gonna make a mad dash that way. I've got a lot of caffeine in my system with a lot of sugar.
Yeah. Sure.
I'm gonna go get my repeater.
Okay.
Do I know which
Alright.
one of these? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. You're moving on. Okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Do you know which? Do I know which one of these nanobots is the healing one, or mending one because of
Make a
medic thing? Or
I'm trying to remember what the new skills are for this one. I would say make an is it tech? Or tech check?
there's technology and there's data as far as that. Okay.
Yeah, technology, data, and I think piloting is the other new one, but obviously piloting wouldn't work.
Yeah, I don't. Is piloting considered a skill, or is it just
is.
Yeah.
a function? Okay.
Yeah, piloting.
It's an official skill, yeah.
Okay, I gotta put that on there then because I didn't do that.
Yeah, data piloting and technology. So this would probably be a technology skill.
Okay.
Technology check.
Shitballs.
I love technology.
I'm gonna go with.
Not as much as you see.
If you don't mind, while I'm looking at it, I'm gonna go with the guidance on that as well.
Okay.
Because I'm not technology too great. Ew. All right, let's see here. So 11.
Okay. Really not sure. You do know that they are two different ones. You know, the red and the blue are two different brands. You can't remember. It's been a while since you've seen these. They were mostly discontinued because teens were getting a hold of them and throwing them at each other, and with like deconstructed nanobots, they would eat all the clothes off of a teenager, and it was really awkward in school, and yeah, it was used for bullying, and it just wasn't great.
Fucking TikTok videos ruin everything. All right, fine. I'll put them away till later.
No, TikTok videos were banned way back in 2020. Those have been illegal.
Oh, well. New revolution then. Woo! Open it up. Shh. No, we'll hold on to them until whatever. You know, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
Y'all know our beloved president is actually trying to ban TikTok, right?
Oh yeah.
I think
That was
that
the
was,
joke.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I was like, if he doesn't know that, that's way too.
Way too meta.
Ugh.
All right. So you have all divvied up some goods and left a few more just in case. Homer is set to monitor and keep the ship safe. Is Lockjaw coming or going?
I think we should leave Lockjaw on the ship.
I think that's probably a good idea.
Not that reptilian small critter ain't helpful in a pinch.
I just want to leave him out of trouble and keep him safe.
Agreed.
He's not
I just
reptilian,
want him
he's
to not lick
reptilian.
me.
Reptilian.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Does
Okay.
he lay eggs or give live birth?
He pulls a platypus. He gives.
All right, fair
Well,
enough.
he doesn't.
Well, he
um,
sure doesn't. Hey, maybe that's
Maybe he reproduces asexually. We're digging into some weird questions now.
this is super. Maybe,
But-
maybe gender roles are reversed. I don't know.
This
But
would.
did
Yeah,
y'all?
Red
Rat
Skull
race.
Seahorse.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
real cool. But did you know mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell?
All right. Regardless, we're leaving him.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Okay. Give Lockjaw a command and roll an animal handling check.
If you want to know what Lockjaw as a crocodile would do,
Ooh.
check out the podcast Monster Crush, available where
Can I
all fine
assist?
podcasts are
I don't.
consumed.
Can
I don't-
I assist by standing behind Ruby and going sit so Ruby can't see me? Sit down.
That's what. Yeah, if you want to assist by pushing down on Lockjaw's haunches, you don't know how well trained
Yeah.
Lockjaw is.
I'm gonna do like a long time honored tradition of throwing something and then shutting the door real quick.
All right, you don't need an animal handling check for that. That's just bad dog parenting.
Really?
Not too
Trickery.
bad.
I'm
Alright,
gonna
Lockjaw
well,
may or
wait,
may not
first
tear up Ruby's
before
slippers.
I
Ooh,
do
Ruby
that, I'm
slippers.
gonna before I do that, I'm gonna give him some good scratches behind the ear and a smooch on the top of his head. I just go mwah, and then I'm gonna throw something, shut the door up.
Okay.
Another dog treat.
Pour the
Alright.
bag just.
Just
So
abundant all
Lockjaw
over the floor.
is-
Have fun.
That's bad dog parenting. Lockjaw is sealed inside of Ruby's quarters, and yeah, the rest of you, assuming you'll go to exit the ship, so you exit out of the cargo bay as you traditionally have, and as the loading bay opens, cargo bay opens, you can see this structure now from your point of view as opposed to the bird's eye. So once again, this large glass dome, and a lot of it seems to incorporate kind of plant life into the structure itself. There's a lot of vines curving up around it. It's not like it's abandoned, but that the people who built this wanted nature to be equally incorporated into the structure as much as metal had been. It has a very like Jurassic Park kind of vibe to it. Yeah. So you all are now standing kind of in this on this loading bay with that building ahead of you, and kind of ships of all kinds to either side. And you see that there are kind of people moving about outside of the structure as well. Several individuals, which all seem to be dressed kind of uniformly, in a uniform. Very kind of like vest and bow tie with long sleeves and pants. It's very formal looking.
I think we're underdressed.
This is what I always wear.
I'm gonna use my shift weave because it can have 10 outfits, right? Or
What
8.
was it?
One or the
10
other.
sounds like a lot.
I thought it
Yeah.
was 7.
I feel like it was one for
7.
every 7, one for every one of your
7.
personalities or something like that.
Yeah. Good thing so I have 1 spare.
One for every
Okay.
deadly
So I have
sin.
6.
Okay.
I guess I'll be like, I didn't want to waste it, but I guess being fancy isn't a bad thing. I guess I'll have a fancy not Elven, fancy halfling dress, like with the frills and a little bow and.
Can it look like the one that Kaylee gets in the Captain Tight Pants episode?
Yes, it
Yes.
has to now. Okay, yeah, your shift weave kind of forms around you, and you go from good downtown adventure.
I was in
to,
overalls, I think.
Yeah, yeah. To
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was overalls and no shirt.
Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah,
I think there was a
episode
shirt
1.
because it's a
Yeah,
like
I thought it was like a brown undershirt and then like overalls, just like button-up overalls, just thrown over.
very farmer.
Yeah.
So that switches to a very nice, kind of almost like Southern Dixie style inspired dress. It has like a very wide kind of base to it, almost a corset towards the center, and kind of these frilly layers towards the bottom. And then you all watch as like a little bow just kind of appears in the back of Arza's hair. And yeah, like Arza, a small fan kind of like appears into your hand, and you've gone just full Gone with the Wind.
Strange.
Are the people in suits all elves, you said, or they're various?
You can't tell from where you are, but what you can tell is that they're not necessarily in suits. If you were to guess, these would probably be employees, because they are dressed. It's not like when you go to an award show and everybody's in a tux, but it's like kind of the I can't remember the word for somebody who like takes your car for you.
Valet.
Like
like a valet outfit. They're not wearing jackets, but it's kind of just vest, bow tie.
Okay. Yeah, like in fancy places, the people who are on staff do wear like suits, so I wasn't sure, but
Sure, absolutely.
but since we're in Elven territory, I wanted to see if I could tell whether or not they were all elves, but that's fine if I can't tell.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay. I'm digging this saxophone music, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm just trying to think
11.
of something more chill than space drama.
I feel like this is good music for like a place in Elven space that is a little bit under the table.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just,
So Val, you're at a bit of a distance, but you do know that elves aren't typically this furry, and they're not completely fur covered. It's not like you're looking at
Ewoks.
sure, yeah. This isn't the moon of Endor. It
Yeah.
almost is the moon of Endor. No, they're elven height. They're probably, from what you could guess, 5 to 6 feet tall, maybe some a little taller, but definitely facial hair isn't super common amongst elves. It's not totally impossible, but these are much more hirsute.
Well, anything else anyone needs to do before we leave?
let's say hi and get started. Oh, wait, leaving? What? Oh. No, you mean, okay.
Before we venture forth to locate this ship by the name of
Crow's Bounty.
Crow's Bounty. I feel like there was one of those, like, we'll get the names from you later, and I was like, yeah, I'll totally do that, and then I didn't.
That's actually what I have down. I don't have the name of the ship. I just have the mission to whatever ship. Blank
Okay.
ship.
Yeah,
so.
you're meeting with Talus, who is a dark elf woman, and her ship is the Crow's Bounty, which is an elven sunhopper. This is a type of ship.
Done. Okay.
All right. So, what would y'all like to do?
Let's just
I'm
get
looking around to see if anyone objects to leaving, because we need to go.
I'm gonna be looking to see if there's any wanted posters of us.
Yeah, not around here. No. This isn't. You kind of get the idea that this maybe is, especially from the structure, the people around, more of a resort than your typical kind of city. It's not like there's a lot of bustling going around or anything like that. So there's not a lot of places for wanted posters. Not that this would even be the place that wanted posters would be posted.
I'm just going to slide all of the like holsters for my various weapons kind of like back further, so they're under the half cape.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not so obviously armed. Just kind of like literally like take the belt and then like slide everything backwards.
Man, I sure wish this dress had pockets.
It could. It's a shift weave.
That's true.
It's the future. Your dress has pockets. Come on.
Okay, awesome. All right, I've got a grenade that is clearly a grenade just right in the front pocket.
So one time I was playing a different system, and there was a point where we were in a place where we were like it was an all-girls group, and we were in a place where like women weren't allowed to carry weapons, and I was playing literally like a warrior, and I was like absolutely not partying with my weapons. So we put on the big floofy skirts, and we literally just like sewed discreet slits into them so that we could reach under it, where because they like poofed out with like the hoop skirt, you could just reach directly to where the sword was like at your side and pull it out of the like flap. And I was like, ancient pockets. Anyway, continue.
Ancient pockets.
I would like to do a promotion at this point. If anyone wants a skirt with pockets big enough to fit a whole Nintendo Switch, look online for Maya Kern. Her skirts are adorable and the pockets are to die for.
It's a big ass pocket.
Yeah.
Nintendo
A
Switch
whole
approved.
Nintendo Switch! I have one that has a milk print on it.
So do we see the Sunhopper anywhere?
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Sorry, I should have asked that in my normal voice. It's too addictive. All right, a perception check. 22. Man, my rolls are good today.
This is a large landing area, but you do spot, a couple of sunhoppers. One of them is, a couple of them are kind of have like maybe a goldish hue to them, or even kind of like a reddish. Because, like I said, they're all kind of trees essentially. But one of them stands out from the others in that it has this kind of black and purple, kind of like twisted wood on it, and you're like, I was gonna name a ship the Crow's Bounty. It'd probably be black, and yeah, you get the idea that that's the one you're looking for. And it's a short walk away.
Okay. Does it have any writing on it to just verify?
As you approach, you do see that it does have carved into the wood, Crow's Bounty, towards the what you assume to be cockpit.
Does it look like anyone's on board, or does it look like they have moseyed to the nearest establishment?
You don't see anyone around. You do see, again, someone who's dressed like an attendant or valet, who's probably within shouting distance of you. They're kind of like keeping an eye just to see if you need anything. But you don't see anybody on board, and you don't see any movement through any of the viewports.
Everyone on board went to Denny's to get a Grand Slam.
Yes, this planet is sponsored by Denny's.
The entire thing. Ruby, we should get some daiquiris and some trail mix from this place. It seems pretty uppity.
Do you think
Uh,
the daiquiris and trail mix would taste good blended together?
Do you think
I mean, if it
daiquiris and trail
does, you
mix
should
are
probably let
uppity?
me know. But if you do want to do that, I suppose Val and I could, knock on the door, see if anyone's home, maybe talk to a valet, get some information.
It's a generous offer, but I think we should focus on business first, mission first, and then if there's time,
Then we party!
party.
Well, they might be
hard.
at the tavern, you know.
Well,
Tr-
let's all stick together
Doesn't that
while
say-
we figure this out.
Doesn't that say Crow's Bounty though, right there on that ship?
I mean, it's a ship that's named Crow's Bounty, but it doesn't mean they're on it.
Follow the breadcrumbs. Start there.
Valet starts to
I'm
walk
gonna just
over
walk
now.
up the door and knock.
Yeah, you're all kind of just standing outside of a ship and just chatting. None of you are elves, and this is clearly an elven ship. The
I do
attendant-
speak Elvish, though.
I'm sure you do. And you could be an elf if you wanted to, but you're not.
I also
The,
speak Elvish.
Yeah, wouldn't that have
Yo.
been funny if I could be an elf and couldn't speak Elvish?
Why did you decide not to be an elf on an elf planet?
I have my reasons. I'm not gonna tell you what those are. I can be whoever I want, whenever I want. Right now, I just want to look real cute, have these nice little curls, and I'll make little stars in my eyes.
The attendant
Okay.
does walk over now. From what you can see, this is probably an elf, but fuzzy. They almost have like badger markings, is what you would guess. And they look to all of you and they say, "I'm really sorry. Is there something I can help you all with? Did you lock yourself out of your ship?"
Is he
We're
saying in
looking
common?
for insert person's name who Ruby would remember, but Taylor doesn't.
Talus.
Talus. We're looking for Talus.
Graham, what did you say?
Are they speaking common or Elvish? And
They're speaking
Are there
common.
any Elvish greetings that are like commonplace?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, if you say hi in Elvish, I'm sure that's common enough. But they are speaking common to you. Yeah, I think that especially because none of you are elves, that's probably their default. I'm not sure who Talus is. I'm sorry, I just work here. Are they who? Is that your friend who has the ship here? Are you supposed to be? meeting
Yeah,
with them?
we're supposed to be meeting with the owner of this ship. Are they on board, or can you point us in the right direction?
Jeez. I couldn't tell you if anybody's on board. We're not allowed to really mess with the ships or anything. That's really frowned upon by management. But if you're going to be meeting anybody, I'd suggest the trophy room. It's it's a local drinking establishment. It's very nice, very high end, and that's where a lot of the patrons tend to go if they're it's at the center of the complex over there, and he indicates the large glass stone building. He says it's great. Like if you lost your friends, like, oh, we'll meet up at 7 at the trophy room. That's the spot.
Your function here is to keep an eye on the ships and ensure that no one is doing anything untoward, correct?
That and also just answer questions, be generally helpful. Yeah, that's what I do.
Are excuse me? Are you from here? Did you grow up here?
I am. Yeah. No, I'm native. I guess. Yeah. No, this is home for me. I wasn't born here, but yeah, no, city nearby. Yeah.
Does he have a name tag?
He does.
Or they?
He does have a name tag. It's kind of like a bronzed, kind of like brushed gold name tag, and it says Bertrand.
Bertrand. Well, Bertrand, you've been mighty helpful. Are you a native by choice or by circumstance? I mean, this place is nice, but there's a whole universe. Why are you staying here?
Work isn't bad. I mean, I'm trying to save up. My family used to go on vacations into
Fantasy
for-
Disney World.
Paradise 9, I think that's what it is.
Yep, Fantasy Disney World. Fantasy Space Disney World. Disney now owns an entire quadrant of space. That is the Disneyverse.
Allowing humans to go to space was a mistake.
Bob
we go
Iger.
into Elven Empire territory. Well, the more formal Elven Empire territory every now and then. But yeah, no, I've been trying to work off school, and this is home, and I like it. I like it a lot. But no, I appreciate your concern.
Oh, that's just good manners where I come from. Far,
I
far away.
understand completely the idea of wanting to stay where your roots are. Although I did not do that. Most of my people do.
I feel
Okay.
like we have taken up more of your time than is customary, and I'm like, is it common for tips to be a thing in places like this, I assume?
Yeah, he actually, as you say, he's like, "Oh, speaking of customary," and he like holds out a hand.
And I figured, yeah, I'm gonna give. I don't think Val either would know what the like correct amount would be for a place like this. So I'm just gonna give him a gold piece, and just like assume.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I will say it sounds like you're all kind of working out something within yourselves. We do have excellent health care specialists on site. Um,
I'm not sure what I've done that's given you that impression.
oh no, you're fine. You're fine. Maybe a little light on the bulb, but no, you're totally. I was mostly referring to the smaller ones, but yeah.
What?
No, yeah, no, trophy room directly that way. Center of the complex. There'll be signs directing you. Plenty of other attendants like myself to guide you along the way. You can't get lost, but in case you do, just shout for help. We're all within hearing distance.
Fortune, do you have a comm? Like the wrist comm things? Think
Yeah,
that's how it works?
I do have a comm. Is there something?
I'm gonna ping him with a friend request on the comms. I think that's how it works. And I'll give him 5 gold, and I'll say, if anyone comes to our ship, tally in case we miss them, or someone, can you just ping me and let me know so that way we don't miss them?
I can most certainly do that. Yeah, I got you. I got your info right here. I'm gonna, we're not friends, but I will give you an acquaintance. Accept. I don't even know.
Oh.
I guess your first name is. It just says question marks. What's your first name?
Razzle. The name was already taken, and I'm not real creative.
That brings up the question: does Arza have a separate account for all of their identities?
I want to say yes.
Or is it just
I
question
think-
marks?
That
Yeah.
also brings up the question. You said the name was already taken, so on the social networking site, if you have someone else's name and they get there first, you're just scroogled?
Well, I think all of Arza's account names don't actually have the name of the persona. I think they're all Foxy Gal 2029, things like that.
Yeah, it's like born to change 69.
Yeah.
Born to change.
Yeah. They're all monikers or something.
We all wear masks. 87.
Super deep. All right. Yeah, no, absolutely. I'll keep an eye. Your ship is the purple one over there. Yeah, the Odyssey. It's a good name. It's a good name. I wonder who came up with that. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Is there anything else I can do for any of you?
I'm gonna give you a 5-star fantasy Yelp review.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for using all of these wonderful pieces of social media and review media that we apparently have in this future nightmare.
Well, have a wonderful day, Bertrand, and have a great rest of your shift. I'm already walking away.
There's
Yeah,
human Yelp, and then there's universe Yelp.
yeah.
Yeah.
Human Yelp is much harsher.
Select your hegemony.
Homogeneous?
Hegemony.
Homogeneous?
No. Yeah.
Anyway,
Alright.
yes, we leave.
Yeah.
Excuse me,
Okay.
we leave. Hiccup.
Wow.
Okay. So are you heading to the trophy room, or is there anything else you would like to do?
Do we know what Talos looks like?
We know they're a dark elf.
Yes. You do not know what they look like. You only got a name, and I guess that was the best identifier that Red gave you.
Was the elven woman in the dream, is she a dark elf?
She is not.
Okay.
She is a high elf.
Okay.
Yeah, because I should note in Dark Matter, the Elven Empire doesn't necessarily have like you could be born a wood elf, but it kind of has like a very I'm forgetting the name of that book series that had and I'm forgetting her too. It was that teen series that competed with Hunger Games where everybody was sorted into like different
Divergent.
Divergent. Yeah,
Hogwarts
that's what it was.
houses. Oh.
I was
So-
like, Harry Potter? Like, we don't do Harry Potter at these.
Kind of. If the Harry Potter houses were also races. So in the Elven Empire, if you have a skill towards diplomacy, you actually might be genetically altered to be a high elf. If you are particularly sneaky or cunning, you might be genetically altered to be a dark elf. Because that's how the Elven Empire determines, like, it doesn't change who you are, it changes what you can do and kind of sorts you into a high house, is what it's called. And that helps the Elven Empire to better operate through the Empire and expand its boundaries.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then Wood Elves are the ones that make the ships, which are from trees.
Wow, that is some dire, dire societal structure there.
Yeah, the hierarchy of the Elven Empire is very frowned upon everywhere except for the Elven Empire.
Yeah.
But it's worked for them. They have the largest quadrant of space, and we're also the first, technically the first to make it to space.
Do
Unsurprising.
amoeboids count?
And the Amoeboids are the asterisk on that made it to space. Elves would be the first ones to attain space travel with their own ships. Amoeboids were technically natives of the Maw, so we're already kind of out there already.
So I suppose we should be going to the trophy room.
We can at least head towards the building, and then if we see no other indicator of somebody that meets the description we've been given, that will be a good place to start.
Is anybody watching us right now, or listening, or within earshot? It's not us.
Oh,
Bertrand said that they are always within earshot.
Of yelling, yeah, from where you guys are right now, as you're kind of walking towards, you see some people. Maybe if you were talking loud enough, they would be able to eavesdrop, but nobody within even 15 feet of you.
Yep.
Perfect. Well, I was gonna say something, but then I realized the present company and that most of this is new to all of you. So I'm not gonna say what I'm gonna say. I'm just gonna keep walking.
Okay.
And now you've begun, so my curiosity is piqued.
Don't worry about it. You're in good hands. I'll take care of you. This ain't my first rodeo.
it seems like they're fishing. Are you fishing? Azza, Zasha, Fama, Razzle.
Razzle.
Yeah, there we go. Sorry, I can't keep track. Razzle, are you fishing? What do you know?
I mean, I'm just saying we probably should just call it the cargo, and not mention what we have. Don't
Well,
say
absolutely.
and how.
You broke up for me. What did you say? It was the last thing after don't say.
Don't say your name, your actual name, because if things go sour, it makes it much easier for them to kind of hunt you down.
Well, I already have a moniker.
Ah,
a fake
Not
moniker.
If Val is not my official name, may I still use Val?
I mean, sure. I'm just giving you all the tips I know.
I can't.
And I'm asking in the spirit of your knowledge.
I'm gonna call you. Maybe you shouldn't go with Val because you kind of go by Val with Red's Raft. How about Buttercup? Sorry, I'm not real creative right now.
I feel like that would be suspicious.
And it also sounds like a horse's name.
What about Belle? Belle's a nice name.
I was
Well,
thinking
Blossom, Bubbles.
Oh my gosh. bell. That seems more reasonable.
All right, I'm gonna head in. I'm just gonna head in. I got nothing else to add.
Yeah. I'm gonna shut up because
I've now determined that
I won't lie about my
Ruby
name.
is sugar, Arza is spice, Zama is everything nice, and then Val is definitely chemical X.
Chemical X. Wait, what's Chemical X?
From
It's
Powerpuff
what made
Girls.
the Powerpuff Girls.
Oh,
Superheroes.
Chemical. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So when we go inside the trophy room, is there a jukebox?
there
There is
space
not. There is
greasers?
actually a kind of just like ambient music playing over. So let me go ahead and describe the trophy room to you. So you head into this this well lit structure, all this natural light kind of streaming through, and you see at the far end of this room is kind of an opening. It says the trophy room, kind of in this very decadent scrawl. There's Elvish and then there's Common. Um, so as you enter the trophy room, it's a very classy looking lounge and bar. There's not as much ambient natural light in here. It's all kind of very subdued. Kind of wooden walled panels, or wooden paneled walls. All the chairs seem to be made from a very exotic leather-like material. It's both soft and durable. There are these well-dressed servers, which you've kind of recognized as being these kind of animalistic-looking elves, with what we would know as shifters, which seem to attend all of the even better-dressed patrons. There's a warm fireplace in the far end, and everywhere in the trophy room are the remains of numerous creatures. The walls are bedecked in heads, claws, teeth, horns, and even full taxidermy bodies of near innumerable exotic creatures. Some of you may recognize some of them, some of them you wouldn't recognize. In addition, you also see some glass cases. There are photos along the wall, and the glass cases contain these very well crafted weapons within them. These kind of like long rifles with gold filigree laid into them. The patrons that you see are predominantly elves, mostly high elves, although you do see a couple of wood elves, maybe even a couple dark elves as well. Almost all of them have at least one dragonborn next to them. These dragonborn are well armed and seem to be on high alert. If the elf is sitting down, the dragonborn is standing next to them. If there's two dragonborn, they're flanking. If they're more, they're surrounding. All these dragonborn have a similar logo, which some of you might recognize. We can do history checks in a second if you'd like to. But in addition to these elves, which I should note are also, like I said, very well dressed, their dress is kind of a mixture of robes and also like hunting gear. And let's see, there are also a number of stuffy looking dwarves, which are kind of sitting on some couches near the fire. They have these long graying beards and are wearing pith helmets. And you can hear them guffawing as they're smoking on their pipes. You also see a couple of gnomes, even a pair of hobgoblins that have these very long rifles with these enhanced sights attached to them, which are leaning against the wall. And we hear a couple of you rolling things. Okay, should be a 6 history for me. Okay, 6 history is probably not going to do it. But if you did want to recognize the logo on the dragonborn, you can roll a history check. All right.
Oh.
I just realized I was muted. Do I have any advantages based on being from another sort of like force that I would like? Do I recognize them from attending people elsewhere? If not, that's fine.
Yeah,
But
that's a good question, Val. So yeah, definitely being on the Maw, you would have seen these figures before. So yeah, I'll give you advantage on that.
okay. 14.
Okay. Yeah, that's the 14, the 19 is probably good enough. These are members of Scale and Fang. They are Dragonborn who are in service predominantly, like specifically to Gorfract, the Eternal Dragon. But what their job is they're hiring out as bodyguards, mostly to elves of high status, wealth, and power, who can afford them. But yeah, Scale and Fang, those are like the premier bodyguards. They are trained since birth, are trained in every type of combat imaginable, and will fight to the death for whomever has hired them. So they
The
are,
Unsullied.
yeah, but not castrated.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, no, they are absolute badasses.
Got it.
So you can kind of infer from that the people, kind of the elves in here, are all individuals of status, and the more Scale and Fang you have, the more important you are.
Okay. I'll just do kind of one of those like lean over and slightly down things so that I don't have to speak too loudly and say, please do not insult or otherwise, a stage whisper, please do not insult or otherwise engage with the Dragonborns with that logo. For everyone's best interest.
All right. I'm sure I can go without talking to someone for a little bit.
Other people you are free to converse with, but don't address them directly and do not cause them to take interest in you. They will likely kill you.
So, in addition to all of that, you also do see a very well-crafted bar. This very rich mahogany type top to it, and there is a Vect, similarly dressed as the shifters that you've seen. He's wearing a vest and a bow tie, and it's a bartender, so you have to see them polishing a glass. Otherwise, how would you know they're a bartender?
Yes.
He's got like a spinny hand, and it's just like the hand is inside with the rag on it. It's like,
Yeah, exactly. That's perfect. It's like a little blender. Yeah,
but silent, of course.
of course.
I was worried he wasn't a bartender until I saw that. Phew. Thankfully.
I am not going to try to look intimidating or anything, but I'm going to try to look like Razzle's bodyguard. I'm just going to stand behind them as somebody I recognize to be the like talker of the group, and be like similarly aware of our surroundings so that it looks like I'm doing that for a reason. But I'm just keeping an eye out for who we're looking for and for any trouble.
Okay. So Val, go ahead and just make a perception check, and we'll kind of just use that as we go along.
8, man. I have like bad rolls today. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna do one as well. I think I would also be keeping an eye out.
I'm gonna try and climb up onto one of the bar stools.
Okay. So I will say that Val and Ruby, what you do notice, first of all, especially Val, because this was a concern of yours, everybody here is thoroughly armed. You shouldn't need to be overly concerned about hiding your weapons unless that's something you wanted to do for the, object of surprise. But
yeah, let them underestimate me. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm hiding my weapons in the dress.
Okay. Yeah, everybody in here has hunting rifles and a sidearm, and the Scale and Fang members especially are not hiding the fact that they are ready to murder at the drop of a hat. Okay, so Arza, you climb up on the bar stool. You're kind of flanked by Val and Ruby. Zama, what are you doing?
I'm sticking with him, though I do want to like turn to Val once I see her reposture. That's kind of why are you puffing out your chest? Should I do that too? What is this? Is this like a show of fertility? What am I supposed to be doing right now?
Well, let's start with you ordering what was that drink you wanted with the fruit? Trail mix?
Ruby, what did we drink at the place with the thing and the people and the trail mix?
We had mimosas, but you mentioned daiquiris earlier. That sounds really
Yeah,
good too.
I was confused. Wrong planet.
I'll wave down the bartender. Hello there. I'd like to have 3 daiquiris, please. And then a fourth one for a friend of mine that I believe is here.
I can make you 3 daiquiris. What friend are you looking for?
Talus?
Hmm. I've searched my memory. I do not have any memory of anyone named Talus. But if they come to the bar and ask for a daiquiri, I will send them over to you. 3 daiquiris plus 1 coming right up. And you see the hand that was kind of spinning in the glass pulls out and kind of turns into like a blender configuration and goes over and starts mixing up some daiquiris for all of you. And there's kind of a loud buzzing. But you all kind of are looking around the bar right now, and the Zama, you would see that there's a couple of elves who are kind of giving you a little bit of a stink eye, but for the most part, nobody's really paying much attention to you.
To be expected.
Val, I'm gonna say that with an 8, there's something that's distracting you from being as attentive to what's around you, and what it is behind this Vect bartender is your traditional bar kind of TV. It's a hollow screen, so it's kind of projected behind them. And what you see is what kind of catches your attention is a very familiar news stinger. It's a very familiar logo, and you see once again ELFS, the Elven Lightspeed Frequency Service, pops up, and the very familiar face from who you've seen before, Radiant Umberstan, has like a stack of papers in his hand, very fine ropes again, with the kind of image of the swirling verse behind him, and you see kind of the scroll on the bottom says 2 weeks on, and he says, hello, thank you all for once again joining the ELF's Elven Lightspeed Frequency Service. I am once again Radiant Umberstan. Today marks 2 weeks since the disappearance of Princess Almira, daughter of Empress Vonri, and heir to the Empire and Great House of Mana Fael. The princess disappeared under suspicious circumstances, but sources tell us that her life tracker is still enabled. If you have any information that could lead to her whereabouts and safe return, please contact your local magistrate. We are all praying for the Empire and her safe return. And Val, what kind of catches your attention most is as he's talking, an image pops up kind of in the corner behind him, superimposed behind him. And
It's her, isn't it?
you will see that the woman that you saw in your collective dream that Val has seen now twice in her dreams is the same person as Princess Almira. And with that, we are going to take a break. So we'll take a 5, go ahead and do some bios, and
Refill my
do whatever you
wine.
need to. We'll be back in just a minute.
Yes. Oh, yeah. It requires me to do shit. And not have my character voice. Okay, see you back in a couple minutes.
It's addicting, isn't it?
Oh, no, that's the wrong screen. Streaming, everyone. Anyone can do it. It requires nothing, and I'm super good at it. Okay, here we go. Okay.
All right.
Incoming. Incoming. Oh. Wow. Hey Val, what's up? Thanks for the raid. Val people,
I'm
awesome.
Val. I'm Val.
Val,
Val.
Val. Nice for the Vals to meet each other. Yeah. Welcome aboard, everyone. We're doing Dark Matter, D&D 5e, Ventures in the Verse is our campaign, and probably getting our asses kicked in an elven bar is our game. But yeah, it is yet to be determined. We're just coming back from a break. Thank you so much for joining us. PH, you're still awake. Wow, you doing the Gen Con panel thing too? What's going on? Awesome. Pleasure to see everyone, and welcome aboard. Derek, do you want to bring us back up to speed?
I guess so.
I suppose.
Welcome back, everybody. So yeah, you're in the bar. You've just gotten this revelation of sorts that the figure you saw in your dreams is a missing princess and heir to the largest collection of peoples in the verse, the Elven Empire. But just as you're realizing this, the Vec bartender walks back over and sets down your daiquiris and says, "Is there anything else I can do for you?"
Oh yeah, that would be mighty kind of you. Could I get some trail mix for my friend here?
Um, yes. We have Gorp. Is that acceptable?
That sounds wonderful.
Fantastic. And the Vec pulls out Gorp, which, if you're not familiar, does have, I'm pretty sure, M&Ms and pepperonis in it. And sets down a small bowl of.
I think that was just an Adventure Zone thing. I don't think it
Oh, no.
actually has pepperonis.
Gorp is real.
Oh no!
Yeah, but no, I
Gorp
don't
is
think it.
real.
I don't think it
Gorp is
actually
real.
has pepperoni in it.
I'm
Gorp is
pretty
love,
sure
Gorp
it's
is
the P.
saying.
I'm gonna Google.
It
Gorp
is
now.
real, but I don't think the P stands for pepperoni. I think it stands for peanuts.
It does here.
I thought it was
Dried fruit and
pepperoni.
nuts eaten as a snack by hikers and campers.
Granola. Oh, I can't remember.
Almonds.
Good
it's an
old
O.
raisins and peanuts.
Good old raisins and peanuts.
And
Although mix may contain M&Ms and other nuts.
But no pepperoni. Ew.
pepperoni's a nut.
Oh god, no, it's
Back to
not.
the games.
You're
Okay.
scaring Garrett.
So we ordered an extra drink for the dark elf. Sorry, this is
I-
Graham out of character. Sorry.
Yeah.
So we ordered the extra drink for Talus, which is the dark elf we're supposed to meet that we don't know what they look like or if they're here.
Right.
By the way, was I the only one who noticed the newscast, or did everybody notice it?
I'm gonna say that's probably what was distracting you, but I'm not gonna make a perception check. It's right in front of you. So
If
yeah,
anyone didn't seem like they were paying attention, I would literally just like put my hand on their shoulder and look up. So
I
I'm-
don't think
I'll see now.
Arza would be paying attention. I think Arza is more intently looking for Talus, and I think I would be scanning everyone there to see, like, are there dark elves, number one, and are they female dark elves, and then kind of whittling it down.
Okay. Yeah, you don't see any female dark elves. I should say there are two male dark elves, which are kind of strolling along. They do not have any scale and fang kind of attachment, but yeah, you don't see any female dark elves. But when you say Talus again, because Arza, you're sitting on the bar stool. Arza, you feel a pressure on your shoulder, and then kind of like a poke at your neck, and a voice whispers in your ear, and you hear a woman's voice. She says, "Why are you going around spreading my name like that?" And you all see a female drow just kind of appear in front of you. She decloaks, so very predator-like, kind of this shimmer. She just kind of appears in the blink of an eye, and you see that she is holding a knife to Arza's throat, and you see what you assume to be Talus. And
Can I
she
roll a
is-
sleight of hand check?
Yeah.
because I think because I have the guns in my dress, I think I would like to lower a hand into the dress just so she can feel that I also have a gun pointing right at her,
Okay.
because I think she's close enough. All right, rolls don't fail me now. A 12.
Okay. I'm gonna say yeah. You're able to get to your gun. She doesn't stop you. Um, but when you're doing that, you do feel a little more pressure.
Yeah.
It's not the knife to your throat. It's just kind of like digging into like your clavicle.
Yeah.
She's like, let's not do anything stupid. Um,
Oh, I would
and
never do something stupid, especially I assume that you already know why we're here. I mean,
I
after
have,
all, you're the one that ordered it.
and she lets out a sigh and she goes, she drops the knife. You're Red's people, yeah.
The whole time this is happening, Ruby's just like,
We had no
Yes.
other way to find you, and you were invisible, so it seemed one of the few courses of actions.
I honestly, that's an excellent point. I guess I'm just not. I'm sorry. I'm just not used to people spreading my name around. It's not a name that I like being used a lot because that means people know it, and that's bad for my line of business. Talus,
Can I
as she
grab her
described.
daiquiri? Because I have the fourth daiquiri and just hand it to her.
Sure. Let me describe this fucking NPC. But yes, you hand her a daiquiri. Talus is a female dark elf. She is bald, but like shaved head. Her long elf ears have numerous gold rings pierced into them, and she's dressed in black kind of tactical gear that is both fashionable and also useful. And yeah, she's objectively attractive if you are attracted to females. Yes, she's very pretty and knows it. Just like from her stance, you can tell that that's maybe something that she's incorporated as maybe a tool that she uses as well. But yeah, you hand the daiquiri to her, and she takes it. Thank you. That was weirdly considerate. Um, I guess yes. I'm Alice. You're all from your Reds people. He didn't say who he was sending. Almost sounded embarrassed about it, but I guess that's you.
He also didn't describe you or give us any specific directions on how to meet you, so I
That
apologize
was
for.
by request. I once again, we're in a place where I I don't mind having meetings. People tend to turn a blind eye to certain things on the outer edges of the empire, and I still have the protections within the borders of the empire. But yeah, I don't like a lot of details being shared. So what he gave you was probably all I let him give. I wouldn't put that on him at all. And it's for safety reasons. I'm sure you understand.
Perhaps in
there,
future a code name so that we're not spreading your real name around, but you recognize it when people ask for it.
That's a good question. I've never been asked that before. Most times I just find the people that are talking about me and either do my business or kill them. But no, you're right. We'll probably see each other again. Chances are, if you stay in this line of work, we all tend to cross paths a few times. Hmm.
Pineapple.
Why don't you ask? I'm sorry, pineapple.
It's a good name. Code name. Pineapple.
I think more than my own name being shared, I never want to be referred to as pineapple. Why don't you call me the Crow Queen? I like that.
Pineapples do have crowns, so it's very similar in a way.
It's a very royal fruit. I'm sure it's
I
great.
mean,
You seem
my vote
prickly.
was for daiquiri.
You seem prickly. Also, yeah.
Yeah. Does that knife is it still near my throat?
No, she took it away.
Oh, perfect.
Eric,
I'm gonna sip
while we're
really loudly from like a straw from the daiquiri.
um while we're insulting Talus, Dirk, can you remind me where Dark Elves fell on the hierarchy?
Yeah, so dark elves would be with the um, assassination, stealth, black ops kind of. They are they're not the frontline warriors, but they're like the Navy SEALs and also like the spies and any kind of the dirty job for the Empire sort of thing. But at the same time, they also have lines of diplomacy and kind of the backdoor way of doing things. So yeah, they're not like Drow in the Forgotten Realms sense where they're like inherently evil and bad and everyone hates them and everything. They have their place in society, but their place isn't as prominent or objectively respectful as like a high elf.
Coming from a background of jewelry makers, do I recognize any of her jewelry?
Um, sure, yeah. None of it's gnomish, but a lot of it there's some various styles. Most of it's elven. But you'd probably maybe see some human jewelry there, and maybe some dwarven pieces, which would have like jewels set into them.
I would like to compliment her jewelry in a very specific way that Ruby would know and Taylor does not.
Okay. Yeah, you point out. You're like, is that the the high dwarven silver that they mined from whatever asteroid, with emeralds in it? That is very well crafted. Is that?
The cut of that is just such a rare piece.
And she kind of like, she's like, thank you. She kind of like just idly touches it for a second. It's like, yes, no, it took it off one of my kills. Not to brag, but yeah, no, it was very nice. They were very very classy people. Were.
Where? Should we leave from here?
Certainly, if any of you wanted to, if you just want to get your business done, you might as well. You have the cargo, I assume.
On the ship.
Fantastic. I will have my crew meet us there.
I'm gonna turn to the Vex. Can I get this daiquiri to go?
Yes, of course. And he brings over a little like lid, and just kind of sticks it on top of the daiquiri cup.
Ain't you a peach?
No, he's a Vect.
Thank
They
you.
are.
Pinch the bridge of my nose real hard. I'll order a second one to go.
I'm
For the
gonna
record, Val totally was not insulting her when she was
I know.
like, why don't you just always give people a code name? But it probably sounded that way because it was like, this seems like a reasonable way to handle the difficulties that you face.
I don't think she took what Val said as an insult. This is probably
Okay.
a person who's heard a lot worse things said to them.
She doesn't seem particularly capable
Of
in general. She didn't think of ever using a code name like
I mean,
Maybe
maybe
Talos
she's
is
just
the
real.
code name.
Maybe she's just really good at killing people, and I mean,
Personally,
I'm not gonna
Katie
criticize
thinks that
someone.
the thing is part of the show and it doesn't actually matter if we're using her name. She just likes to do that to like intimidate people and throw them off, but hard to say.
so you all wait the extra 5 minutes for another daiquiri to get blended and made. And yeah, Arza, you are double fisting daiquiris on your way out the door.
Perfect. Did you notice I didn't pay? Because I'm booking it.
I think that like as he turns around, like all of you are leaving, and it's just, we'll charge it to your ship.
That's fair.
Was there like a pricing list so we know how much 5 daiquiris are?
Not
'Cause
a
this
place
is
like
a-
this.
Yeah, oh shit.
I've
This
got
is one of
reasons
those market
for
value places. Yeah, and the Gorp had a premium on it, you know.
The
Ooh.
Gorp.
Those tariffs, that's how they get you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll just follow along. I think ours is a little shaken, so I'm gonna stay in the back of the group, hide behind Val.
Aren't you the face? What are you doing back there? Are you?
Walking? I mean, I'm small, but I gotta make 2 steps for every 1 step you take.
Would you like me to carry you?
Can
No.
you carry me?
Why not? You weigh what? 60 pounds? 70?
It's not nice to ask a lady how much they weigh.
Oh. Correct. I did hear that before. Oh, okay.
You'd have to think it's probably the same weight in every form because you're not losing matter.
Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
destroy matter.
Yeah.
But you are changing
You just become
size
a very
though.
dense halfling.
It's dense, yeah. There's
Yeah.
like less space between the atoms when they
Wow.
shrink down.
That is a
Ours is like the
dense.
heart of a star.
Yeah.
I am the densest halfling. One day someone's gonna try and push me and just be like, oh.
Dang, girl, you look dense.
Yes. That is.
Low
Dwar-
center of gravity too. Yeah, Arza cannot be knocked prone.
Not in halfling form.
Not in
Yeah.
halfling form. All right, you'll make it to
yeah.
your ship. You see as you approach that there are 3 other drow, and in the very mercenary assassin style, there's one really big one kind of lanky one with a bunch of knives, and another one which has like a bunch of gadgets and stuff. Because sure, why not?
Space bards.
Right. So Talus kind of leads all of you there, and she's kind of got like a swish to the way that she walks, and she looks back as you're walking. So how long have all of you been employed by Red?
Like
48
32
hours?
long
Yes.
long enough to know that the pay isn't real good.
Well, I could have told you that, but suppose we didn't know each other, and you didn't ask 2 important factors. Yes, Red is good at what he does, but paying people isn't one of those things that he typically does. I would say fulfill whatever contract you have and move along. He's not the type to make long-term friends with, but he's an excellent businessman.
If by excellent you mean ruthless, then yes.
That's what I meant. Yes, I'm not sure there's another good way to be good at business, at least not trading in illicit goods. And,
Is Bertrand still around?
you could probably shout for him. You don't necessarily see him. He was over
No,
by
I'm-
the Sunhopper, which is a little ways
Yeah.
away.
I'll IM them. Be like, found them. Smiley face.
Okay. He just he sends back, okay, period.
Man, he did not do his job well. I asked him to see if anyone was coming to our ship, and there's 3 people there.
You
1
kind of get
star.
the idea that maybe they were cloaked as well.
1 star on Yelp.
No, you've ruined Bertrand's life.
Yeah.
Poor
Yeah, so I
Bertrand.
will just go on the ship and I'll put my daiquiris right on the dashboard.
Okay, so you go in through the cargo bay all the way to the cockpit. Put your daiquiris in the 2 cup holders. There's only 2, and
Oh, there's
Was
only
that
two?
No. He said specifically who's putting them on the dashboard.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah,
going to
okay.
follow him in, and I'm going to put coasters underneath them.
so with like a slight shift, those are going to tumble. Okay.
Homer, can you keep an eye on those and also keep them cold? The second question. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, there's a good idea.
Okay.
That wasn't actually something that Val would say.
Well,
Yeah.
Ruby, before you get on board, there's something you have to do.
Uh-oh.
Othbo!
And you see Homer, who was like prepping a lightning bolt, just like stands down. Welcome back, Ruby.
Thank you.
So in the meantime, while I'm going to put those daiquiris away, Arza's hope was that the other crewmates would do the manual labor of moving the cargo.
Yeah, you do see that one of the dark elves that was kind of standing out did have one of the kind of hover lifts that you use to get
A pallet jack.
A level
Pretty much,
lift.
a floating
Levitation.
pallet jack. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they did bring one. Talus looks. I wouldn't assume that any of you would need to transport this any further. I think you've done your end of the bargain, and your boss has been paid. Just transferred the funds officially now. They are no longer in holding. I suppose this is farewell. Thanks for doing business.
Did
gonna
Red
take-
tell us that we were supposed to do anything else other than literally just give it to her?
That's all you had to do. He said that,
Can
that
we
payment was
calm
already
him
handled.
before we finish the transaction?
Can you what?
Can we hail him with like a calm? Just say, hey, we're exchanging the goods.
Yeah, so since you were on a moon and you have access to their satellites, you can send a message to Red and actually have probably within 30 seconds, a 30-second delay, a response back.
Yeah.
So you
Hi,
send the
boss.
message.
It's Razzle. We're exchanging the goods now. Everything good. Funds should be sent your way. Just give me a heads up if it hasn't. You know, we like to do our jobs, right?
And about 30 seconds later, you get, Red. He says, "Yeah, as long as you did the handoff, everything's fine. Come back when you're done."
Thumbs up emoji.
I'm gonna take one of my earrings off and give it to Talus and be like, I stole this one off one of my kills too.
She's like, "Oh, hon, I don't want to take any of your kills from you. These are all from people that I killed, and I have, more, but only so much ear. You understand? But I don't want to. I don't want to take. These are memories, and I don't want to take any memories from you.
Alright then. Clip it right back on.
I could kill you and take it if it's that big of a deal.
I would prefer you didn't.
Fair
Thanks,
enough."
though.
You realize she was like reaching for a knife as she was saying that. Well,
I feel like I have a
Anything
very
else?
like almost militaristic resting position with like my hands behind my back, but then as I saw her hand go to like the dagger, I definitely like shifted slightly. It's like reaching for like the laser sword. And then when she moves
Yeah.
back, there's like a little bit more of like relaxation.
she kind of turns to Val. She goes, "You've got a very narc aura around you. Are you a narc? Is this a setup? You guys gonna screw me over?"
I mean, if she's an arc, then we're all screwed. Because I don't think she's a narc, but I guess she might be a narc and I just didn't know.
Am I within earshot at this point?
That's up to you.
Yeah, I'll say I'm on my way back. Nah, she's good. She's cool. She's like the captain of the ship or whatever. But Red says it's all good. You can take the goods. And
It would
go
not serve
about-
my best interest to report any of this to anyone.
Okay. Okay. No, that's fine. All right. Fine. Well, we're going to take our goods and leave, and you all can leave too. We're all cool.
Can I
Can
inside
I
check
insight
her?
check? Yeah, can I it's like
Yeah.
that sounds like something a not cool person would say.
Yeah, go ahead and insight check.
Oh man, I wish I could roll
Wow,
above a 10 today.
Man,
Holy
wow, wow,
fuck.
just with the matching rolls, I was like,
Oh,
sounds cool.
Ruby.
The
You can
save.
tell that she's mostly just suspicious of Val.
That's fair.
She's not reaching for weapons or anything like that. She's just looking to leave because there's a concern that maybe she's, done a deal with the wrong people. But you guys did everything that you were supposed to do, and if she wanted to kill you, that's something she's had the opportunity to do a couple of times.
she could
over.
certainly try.
She could certainly try.
Yeah, I'd already have been dead.
You've already what?
You would have already been dead.
Oh, I've already been dead.
I would have already been dead.
You wouldn't be dead. You would have perhaps been unconscious at one point, and then you would have been okay afterwards.
I love Graham's freeze frame right now.
I know. Like when I'm frozen on camera, I'm always
Yeah.
in some like weird contorted position, and I'm like speaking with my hands.
Oh,
going
am
like
I
this
frozen?
Or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're frozen. You're just like
Oh no.
It's a very nice
It-
smile.
Yeah, it's a
I
very
know.
it's a very cool.
mirth.
Yeah. I like it. Very.
So she does turn back as her crew is kind of walking away with the roaches.
Oh no. Okay,
She's like,
there we go. Did that fix
just-
it? Oh.
Yeah,
hold
you're
on.
good.
Yeah, but you.
That's okay. I got
think
it.
you
I got it.
switched.
Frozen again.
Okay.
Nope. Okay. It's just a little. It's a little jolty. It's all right. But she turns back. She says, by the way, were you? Did you all? Have you ever been to Malor 5 before? Do you know what they? I mean, did you want to take advantage? I know some people here. I could get you a free hunt if you wanted to.
A free
And
what?
if you have to get back, that's fine. I just figured, sweeten the pot, whatever.
I appreciate the gesture. I feel like the wildlife
I mean,
is
is
best
she
suited
coming
being
on to
wildlife.
She is
I
not
feel
coming
like
on to you.
I feel like that's an interesting first date offer.
Oh, I wouldn't go with you. No. No, I hunt the most dangerous game. Wink.
I hunt on my own.
Yeah. Shit.
But, no, I just didn't know if any of you were hunters, were on a
Is
hunting
there
planet.
is there anything else to do here, like a day spa or like a casino?
No casino. Those are outlawed in the Elven Empire, but they might have a shower room, maybe, for after you're done with the hunt. But no, the major bit of commerce here for the Lycan people is hunting.
No, I mean I don't want to just take a shower if I'm not going to be pampered.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm ready to just drink and put the ship on autopilot and call it a day. I have been up for a while and the coffee is setting enough. I should not have had 2 drinks. Definitely offset the sugar.
Appreciate the offer, however.
Fine. Okay. No worries. No harm done. I hope we meet again, and you all stay safe and fly under the radar. That's what we have to do.
I hope if we meet again, your intent is not to kill us.
Yeah, if I could
Same.
not get threatened next time, that'd be great.
Well, that just wouldn't be special then, would it? You can't say I wasn't memorable. And she turns and leaves. So
I'll set
you
off
all-
towards the. Yeah,
You could.
I'm going straight to the.
Okay. So Arza makes it to the cockpit. You all are back at your ship. Is there anything else you would like to do on Malor 5 or anything else before you take off?
I'd like to go up to the cockpit and ask Arza a question.
Okay.
Arza,
Yeah.
Arza, dear dude, do I have to call you Razzle? Can I call you Arza now that everyone's gone?
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm not good at memorizing names. Would you like me to check your blood sugar? You were saying about all the excess sugar earlier. I didn't know if you were maybe concerned about your overall well-being.
No, I'm just fine. I really like to finish the job as quick as possible, so I try to stay up, and I didn't sleep, and so I'm just mighty tired. So I'm gonna get us primed to leave, and then I'm gonna sleep.
You were not asleep.
I haven't slept.
Even more curious that you would have been present. I'm assuming you all noticed that the woman that appeared to us was also in the broadcast. And appears to be the heir to the Elven Empire.
Do you think that she's being held captive in the big scary tower?
Possible.
Would not have been major breaking news, though, if that was the case.
Only
when
if
you
they
think
knew about it. She has told us personally, perhaps, or I have been warned, we have been warned, that she needs help. But that does not necessarily mean that the Elven Empire knows where she is, or if anyone in the Elven Empire does know where she is, they are perhaps working against the succession.
It's possible she's being held by the tower, but not necessarily in the tower.
And what are the relations between the homogeny of man and the Elven Empire currently?
Currently peaceful. There is peace in the verse. In the early years, there was a lot of animosity between a lot of different peoples. The Night Crusade was a really big deal. That was between the Avia Ra and the Elves, especially over the Central Sun, the Sepulchral Star. That was a major war. When men first got into space, they had a peaceful alliance with the Elves, but as the hegemony of men began expanding more and more, war broke out. So, like I said, the Elves have the largest swath of space for one singular governance. The hegemony of men is probably a close second, or at least they'd like to be. And even the hegemony of men used to be a lot bigger, but it got split in half. So that's what the hegemony of men is now separate from the Lakshayan. Oh, I gave it a name because they didn't have one, and I called it the Lakshayan dynasty. Is separate because the Lakshays were then fighting the orcs and goblins, and with the orc dominion is what I named. So the technically, if men were to unite, they would be the largest. But since they're split down the middle, the hegemony of men has lost a significant deal of power and influence in the past 1,000 years or so.
Okay. So I suppose that raises the question. I'm gonna change back into regular elf Arza.
Okay.
Uh, that 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 raises the question. Do we go back to Red and give the drinks? Not the drinks. I'm sorry. I've been drinking. Do we give back the car? Well, not the cargo either. We give that away. Do we say we've done the job and then get another job from him? Or do we say screw Red and not take any more jobs and go into this help request?
We're in.
I'm not certain we know where to go specifically. I recognize that this tower appeared in this experience, but to fly across the galaxy on the assumption that that is where she is being held, I do not believe we have the information necessary for that. I believe that that is involved in whatever issue she's experiencing, but
We need to. We're in debt. We need to clear that first. Go back with Red and do what we need to do, so we can be free.
Do you
Perhaps-
honestly think Red is ever going to let that debt be paid?
he would have to, or he would not be a good businessman. He would be known for reneging on his deals.
Or his deals are so dangerous that the assumption is most people die on them before they finish and work off their debt.
I believe he would then have a reputation for making deals with people who die untimely.
That's possible. I'm gonna prime the ship for takeoff.
Okay.
Before we leave, can I access the, like, internet? What was it called again?
Yeah.
World Wide Web.
Yeah. That.
The Galaxy
Sure.
Wide Web.
And I want to see what
feel
I
like-
can find out about what they know of what happened with this princess before she disappeared. Like,
Okay.
Hollow web?
Something like that. Yeah.
it was, yeah, it had a name, I can't remember.
Go ahead and make a data check.
Okay.
See how good you are. Boop, 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 boop.
Fucking 12. That's with a +5. Let me tell you, all my rolls today have been such crap.
It's because fucking Graham's been hogging them all.
I know.
I'm sorry.
Queen favorites.
Yeah.
So you do some cursory research. A lot of the major news sources that you can find that are covering this are mostly coming from Elven news sources. You do see ELFS has covered this a couple of times. Like I said, it's been going on a couple of weeks now. It's 2 weeks on that she's been missing. They know it's suspect because the Scale and Fang bodyguards, which had been assigned to her, were all found dead of blaster wounds, and there was no sign of her. There was clearly a battle, scorch marks from the blasts, and definitely fighting had happened. That's how the Scaling Fang. They didn't die from psychic attacks or any even magic. Really, it was weapon attacks. Uh, but yeah, all 10 of them. There were 10 assigned to her were taken out.
And I know that 10 of them is a substantial force.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And yet no sign of her. The Empire hasn't received any kind of like ransom demands or bargaining tools, or bargaining for getting her back. You do see that she did disappear on a maw, which is very suspect because maws are supposed to be neutral zones, as a Sepulchre Knight would know. Maws are supposed to be places where that sort of stuff doesn't happen. Sure, some shady stuff might happen, but outright kidnappings of heirs to empires, no.
Do I know, based on which maw it was that they say she disappeared from, whether or not that one has a history of, or if that one was involved in any like tensions between the different empires or anything like that?
She was on a maw within Hegemony of Men space, which is kind of odd, especially for you kind of would assume maybe she's a diplomat. Maybe that's what led her there. Maybe it was just stopping along the way back home. It wasn't near any of the major planets within the hegemony's bounds, but still to be within that space and to be that high up the chain of hierarchy is strange.
Val, what's wrong? You look puzzled.
She seems to have been, based on the evidence currently available, there was almost definitely an abduction of some kind. The Dragonborn that you saw inside are members of an elite guard, the Scale and Fang. They are highly trained. They will fight to the death for whomever hires them, as a matter of principle, really. And you saw inside, many had one. A few had more than one, and even fewer than that had more than two. She had 10 with her, fighting to the death, one of the most elite fighting forces in the verse. And they were overrun on a maw in the space of the hegemony of man.
Maybe they weren't overrun. Maybe there was subterfuge involved and trickery was used.
It's highly unlikely in the Scale and Fang. They are...
No, against the Scale and Fang.
Yes. There was certainly... there were many questions. This is just what's available to the public. So what would be available to those truly in the know is a question.
Arza, can you idle this? I'll look up and like I'm looking for Homer. This ship. Can you idle the ship? I have an idea. Val, would you care to question maybe some of the Scale and Fang before we leave? Maybe get a contact with someone who would give us more information than general that you would find on Google.
We might be able to pique their interest by appealing to their sense of duty. The people here might be connected enough for some of them to be of an elite force, but at the very least, we could try to speak to some and find out if there's anyone we can speak to that might know more about the situation from a perspective of protecting the reputation.
Yeah, all we have to do is find someone who's personally invested. Let's say they had a close comrade that went down with that operation. And we just need one lead. I'm bound, also bound with the same curse of duty. So I believe we need to finish up with Red. We need to do what we need to do with Red before we go shooting off into our own thing, or else we're chased by a whole nother faction. Usually, duty prevails, but that doesn't mean we can't investigate before we leave this lush hellscape of elven world thing.
It is worth an attempt.
Yeah, you will get better. You and also Arza, actually, fucking all of you will get better results than I will. Oh, never mind. I guess the Scale and Fang wouldn't harbor any ill will towards the Aviara. Maybe, I don't know.
I feel like, in fact, they would probably feel akin to the sort of devotion that you have, because their sense of duty would be
true. But they are serving.
duty bound.
They are serving the opposite side of that, so it's kind of hard.
They are serving whoever hires them.
Yeah, but currently hiring them is the people who hate my people. So the friend of my friend is my enemy, or enemy of my enemy is enemy of my friend is my enemy, something shit like that.
So do you want me? You've got me for like another 30 minutes, and then I'm going to go to bed.
Arza, why don't you go?
Do you want me to go talk to them?
Take a nap.
You can sleep. I will speak to them, unless you have objections to that.
I'll go. I don't. I'll go.
Arza is more like sucrose than person at this point.
Yeah.
Just
Crash, isn't it?
Yeah. I'll wave down Homer. Large coffee, scoop of ice cream, in it.
Do I feel like... Okay, so hear me out. Feel free to tell me no at any point in time, because I'm about to try to Katie you. So like, too much sugar in your system could be really bad for you, right? Like, that's why like diabetes is a thing and blood sugar has to be measured. So since I can like purge like poisons from people's system, could once consumed, because I wouldn't want to ruin his coffee for him, could I just like do the 5 points of lay on hands to be like, I'm just gonna get all these toxins out of you and include sugars in that?
Hey,
You wanna
suddenly
use
I'm
5
sober.
points of lay on hands to essentially. Shit.
I'm
Prevent
balancing his
diabetes
humors.
thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
So the sugar crash. So I'm hoping
no.
to alleviate the sugar crash. I'm gonna like watch you like drink this coffee. I'm just gonna reach over, and there's gonna be that like sort of like little like just really subtle, not even a flash, more just like a swell of like a little bit of like dark swirled with lightness, and I'm just gonna like balance your humors.
So Arza, you get your affogato coffee, and it tastes just a little more divine than normal.
Ah.
You're like, it's like 5 hit points in there. All right.
No, I spend
Yeah,
the 5 hit points to cure the poisons.
Right. I got you.
But yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And you
Divinely
feel-
inspired
you feel
coffee.
energized. You feel better. You're not feeling that
Okay.
crash at this point.
Okay. I will. God, who do I want to be? I should be Chet Manley. No, I will be.
I believe
I'm not gonna
your
be Arza,
current
though.
form would be the best.
Bud Dudson.
But
Bud dudes, what up, my brothers?
we are on an elven.
I'll stay as an elf, and
Okay.
with my little top hat, my rainbow-colored hair.
Does anyone?
All right.
I'm sorry, Arza. I don't know this form. Are you going to be doing the talking during this? I'm going to stay here with Ruby, or with Ruby in general.
This was the form you met me in.
Yeah.
I
This
can't.
is Arza's like first elven form. That's the character art.
Dud Bootson? Wait, what?
No, he's
No,
an
no.
elf again. He's the
Oh,
It is
okay.
an elf.
Yeah, he is
Okay.
Arza once again.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. I knew there was talk of different. Oh God.
Both Zama and you are having
Yeah.
trouble this
What
way,
is going
which
on?
is fair.
It's okay. I'll send like a Word document.
Yeah.
Because I was
Wait,
like, I changed into machines, but this is ridiculous.
We gotta get it. Yeah, we gotta get some kind of toggle here. Oh, that would be great if we had different art for like your different forms, and that way,
Oh, that would be super
I can
nice.
actually. I'm researching things that you can change things with channel points or with chat commands. So I like give you the option to be able to change your picture with the chat command, so that you could change your identity. But that's a lot of fucking money in art, and I
heck.
can't afford that.
For
But
500 bits, I'll be whatever persona
yeah,
the person
exactly.
who donates.
Well, you wouldn't even have to.
For
You,
500 bits, I can be whatever you want.
yeah,
honey.
come on, please, just give me something sensual, you know.
Yeah. You want me with gold biddies? You got it.
Yeah, so shit. What was I gonna say? As yeah. So who is gonna be doing the talking here? I'm hanging out with Ruby. This is not my place. This is definitely not my world.
I don't mind doing the talk.
Is it you or Val? Because I need to know. I will bless you with stuff.
Do you want to do the talking or me?
We can approach the situation tactically, begin speaking to them, and whoever they respond best to, or read their mannerisms and decide whoever they respond best to, and then whomever appeals to their good sides the best can take over.
Okay, I'm gonna do it to Val because that was very intelligent, and Arza, I love you. I love you so much, dear. But I think that you're gonna fuck with somebody, and that's gonna mess everything up. Just saying.
Me?
I'm just saying, analyzing the situation. You're the most likely to be a great time and piss somebody off, and Val is probably not capable of having a good time or pissing somebody off. So yeah, hoobity boobity. I'm gonna cast enhance ability on Val, and for the Eagle Splendor. Let me check. I haven't
Oh
used
yeah,
this
that's
in a
the
while.
charisma one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Eagle Splendor. Yep. So you have advantage on charisma checks for an hour.
All right, let's go inside.
Yep.
We're gonna boop 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 the ship, go back down to the ground, beep beep, lock it with Homer, and then head back inside of the trophy room.
Yeah, you put your like wheel lock in it. Yeah, beep it
Hello,
twice.
Jack.
Yeah,
Beep boop.
yeah. All right, yeah. You head back in. Are you going back into the trophy room, or is there anywhere else you'd like to go?
If
Did
so, I'm going to
Talos' ship
enter.
leave?
Oh yeah,
sorry?
that's a good question. Did
Did
Talos leave?
Talos' ship leave?
You look over. You see the Sunhoppers still there. They might be doing, I don't know, maybe some other stuff on the moon. I keep wanting to say on the planet. That's not right. But no, it has not taken off.
Celestial body.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah, it has not taken off at this point. But you also don't see anybody standing around, and you don't see. You did watch them walk over.
I think I would enter the general establishment, and we can pause this for whatever it is that you're about to do, Arza.
I was just gonna say, do I know if I'm wanted in, in the Elven sector in this appearance?
What
I'll leave it up to
got
you.
fr-
You surprise me.
What you got from Talus, I'll say this. You would infer from Talus that she's making deals on this moon because they're not the kind of people to be shitty about that sort of thing. And if you want, you can do a history check about Malor 5. It does have a history. You've spent some time in Elven space. You might have heard of it. It might even give you some background into that as well. Or you can always ask, like I said, you can always ask Homer, and he can inform you on planetary and celestial objects.
Zama, are we going along for the ride?
Yeah.
That's
No
up.
problem. Yeah, I was like me that could potentially have been at places like this. I think was what I would be more concerned about.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's up to you if you've been to Malor 5 before. It is like a resort moon, so...
I don't think I've been here before.
Okay.
That's up to you, Ruby. I'm following you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I'll-
stick with you.
All right. So we go to the throne room, or not the throne room, the trophy room.
So, entering in the main building,
Mhm.
I would prefer to find someone maybe their person they're attending has gone to the restroom and they're standing outside of the private restroom. Like any of the members of the Claw and Fang of the
Scale and
Scale and
Scale and
Fang,
Fang,
right? Because
yep.
they're dragonborn. Anyone standing seemingly by themselves would be my first go-to. But if I don't see anybody on the way, then heading back to the trophy room and then finding the one standing the furthest away from their would-be like client, I guess.
So as you're heading to the trophy room, you do see a room kind of off to the side. It leads down kind of like a short corridor and it kind of opens into a much larger room. You do see that there's an elderly elf, which you don't often see. But there is an elderly elf which has kind of separated himself somewhat from the Dragonborn, who's leaned up against a wall and kind of has their arms crossed, kind of just in a very clearly bored type stance. And they're probably out of hearing distance from the elf if you were to speak quietly.
So I would like to evoke my flawless protocol portion of my background,
Mm-hmm.
which means I've memorized a vast library of basic greetings, handshake techniques, and polite gestures from 1,000 different cultures. You almost always know the correct way to address unusual aliens or foreign dignitaries. So whatever way I think would be the most appropriate way to greet a Scale and Fang member as a non-member in a respectful way is the way I would do that. Like directly approaching them, like kind of like in a relaxed pose, like hands open and at my sides, not aggressively, but obviously not coming to speak to the person they're with, coming to speak to them.
Okay. I should note that as you're walking down this corridor, there is a sign above it, very much like the trophy room. This one says the Tea Hunt, and as you walk down this corridor into this open room, you can see what the elderly elven gentleman is looking at, and it is a gargantuan taxidermied Tarrasque, which is standing kind of like your once again like Jurassic Park T-Rex, but it fills the room, and everywhere around you see Tarrasque heads, which are kind of put on these massive plaques along the wall, and there's like Tarrasque fangs on the far corner, and
And really bad recorder music is being played.
yeah, yeah. Life did not find a way here. But you do see the elven gentleman. He's right at the foot of the Tarrasque, and he kind of turns back and he shouts, "Can you believe this fucking deal?" And you go up to the Dragonborn and you kind of lean on the other side of the wall. And you go, "You on the job?" And he turns back, goes, "Yeah. What about you?"
In a matter of speaking, I respect your organization, your devotion to your duties, and how tenacious you are in such pursuits.
I appreciate that. Don't gotta kiss my tail or anything. And he puts out a Dragonborn fist, and you would know to pound the fuck out of that fist
I'm gonna fist bump him.
and make
Hell
it
yeah.
explode. That's the Scale and Fang grading.
Hell yeah. So do that. Doing my best to like mimic his posture too as much as I can.
Oh yeah.
And then I have learned about the fate that befell the heir to the Elven Empire, and being that we are in this space, I thought that I might try to learn more about the perspective the organization has on that. Based on my understanding, it would have taken a small army to be able to overcome the number of guards that she had with her. So clearly, there's more to the situation than seems to be available on the surface.
You're not wrong. Yeah. It's real messed up. We don't know what happened to Ambira. I know my brothers and sisters did their job. That's all we could have asked. They died in service. May their souls forever be in service to Gwilfrect. But no, we're all really beat up about it. It's tough to lose one. Lose 10?
It was an honorable death.
To die in service? Yeah. No, that's an honorable death, but to die at all, it's not ideal. I don't know. I hope they find her, and I hope that they hand over whoever the bastards are that did this, and we get our own brand of justice.
If you don't mind, sorry to weigh in. I've just been listening. It's riveting. Can I hear this? Right?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Ah.
Yeah.
Did
Val's
your
trying to be
brothers
very cool, and you're all just kind of like, "What's going on, guys?"
yeah.
Just very.
Did your brothers and sisters have their weapons out where they fell, or was this an ambush?
No, they fought back, but
Were there any bodies?
only theirs. I don't know if whatever they shot at didn't go down, or whatever they shot at took their dead with them. But the only ones left were our folks.
Were any from your organization allowed to investigate before the
Nah, they
situation was cleaned up?
left all that to the elves. We're not an investigative group, and honestly, the elves. I mean, they don't care much about our lives. They cared about Almira, which, granted, she's gonna be in charge here in a couple hundred years or so, but no, they took over that. They gave us the report, and report said our folks got shot at. They fought back, and they died, and Almira was gone. So,
Were there any signs of where she may have been taken?
not that they told us. No, as far as I know, she up and went without a trace. And honestly, it kind of is a little bit harder because there's so much more scrutiny on us now. Like we let one of ours we let one of our charges get gotten,
Um,
and
were there any signs of her being in a struggle, or do you think that she went peacefully?
I mean, they say she's not dead, so the struggle obviously. I mean, that was the dragonborn that was scaling Fang shooting back, but whether she fought,
But yeah,
I
did
don't know.
she fight at all?
They didn't find anything off of her.
Would
We know
you?
she was armed. She at least had a pistol on her. We always leave that as a last resort. But they didn't find her body. They didn't find her gun. They didn't even find a hair from her. It was all just our people, blaster marks, and a whole bunch of mess.
Do you? How does your organization handle bodyguarding wizards or people with the ability to jump or teleport or cast spells that would move them? Do you have precautions or alternate setback points to retreat to?
Typically, yeah. I mean, it all depends on the client. Uh, Certainly, we serve people. I mean, I know Almira was a spellcaster. She was a high elf. She learned that. That's part of her upbringing. Uh, that's the biggest thing we can have is a life tracker. We try not to put anything on the person, especially of that status, which would be a location tracker, because if that gets taken by the bad people, that could be an issue. But her life tracker's showing that she's still alive, and that cannot be fooled with. She's somewhere, and she's scared, but she's healthy.
Of that, I have no doubts.
What's all your interest in this? You just rubbernecking or what?
Can I be frank with you? One duty bound person to another.
I respect that.
Do you know much of my people, the Clashtar?
Can't say I do.
We are bound to spirits who give us dreams, usually of the past, but sometimes of other things. I believe she contacted her. And she is alive. And I
Well, I tell
believe your
you what,
people would do everything within their power to prevent something negative from befalling her. So if there were someone within your organization who had been given information that wasn't released to the public, I believe that that information could be invaluable to us in clearing your name and in locating her.
Make a persuasion check.
With advantage. 22.
Nice. Sure. All right. There's something that some of our very high status individuals get, and especially elves. If you're talking about direct in line to the imperial throne, she had a device on her. It's called Soul Render. It creates an astral copy of the person from their body, leaving their body as an empty vessel so that they can be taken, but not really. I know Almira had one of those. It effectively still makes her almost present on the material plane, but like a ghost. So she can hear, see, but it's hard for her to talk. She's still bound by gravity. She doesn't float off into space or anything like that, but she can't be typically seen unless she wants to be seen. It's the next step after cloaking. And it's not really one of those things that's talked about a lot. So, don't go into your local shopkeep and asking to get a soul render. You're only gonna get a weird look. But I know
That's
she
not.
had one, and if she knew she was gonna get taken, and if she wanted to get taken alive, that's the last resort.
So it's possible that they didn't find anything of her because she had activated the soul render and was invisible to the naked eye? If she
Yeah,
is in.
her spirit would have been invisible.
Okay.
Her body would have still been there, but if they were looking to take her, they would have taken what they could. But what is really her, not the physical form, but what's her spirit, would be detached. And that's if she activated it at all. I don't
So
know.
it's her life tracker would show her body alive even if she activated the soul render.
That's the idea. Yeah.
So it is possible that wherever her body lies is separate from where her spirit is, or perhaps they are together, but at least she would still show alive even if she were capable of leaving that place.
Her mind would be affected in the same way. Her body would appear comatose, but she would have the option to jump back in if she were nearby.
I'm gonna look around and see if anyone's listening in.
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check.
22.
Okay. You don't see anybody who's necessarily eavesdropping, but you can see that the elderly elven gentleman is kind of wrapping up his little tour of the tea hunt room,
I'll
and he's kind of like trudging back over. That was fascinating.
I'll nudge Val and give her a look like finish it up.
This information is invaluable. I hope to be able to locate her.
You're all trying to find Almira?
I am, at least.
All right. Well, good luck. I hope you find her. I hope she's safe. I hope she's okay. And honestly, if you do, you all are going to be hot shit. I mean, imagine finding the heir to the Elven Empire. You all are going to be heroes. I don't know. Just don't kill yourselves doing it. All right. I met Almira once. I worked for her once. She's a tough cookie, but I just hope she's okay.
She's okay, at least at this point.
Yeah.
Did he give us a name of himself?
He did not.
And your name, and I'll like do the little LinkedIn thing. Be like, in case we learn anything.
Yeah, my name's Blitz.
Val.
Val, it's been good talking to another professional. You keep. I'm assuming this is your crew. You keep them safe. You seem to have good head on your shoulders.
I'll die before they do.
It's all we can hope for.
Didn't we all get fucked up not too long ago?
I do distinctly remember being shot in the back.
And none of you died.
Twice.
Just saying.
We went
No
down.
one died.
We went down before her, didn't we? Yeah, okay, just checking. I wasn't.
But you didn't die.
That's true. Not fully
I'm
dead.
gonna-
Only
That was
slightly
before
dead.
she was the captain too, though, wasn't it?
True.
That's true.
Of this like accidental captain.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna turn around and head back towards the ship.
Yeah.
I will pay for the drinks from
Okay.
earlier.
Yeah, Blitz he's like, yeah, it's all good. I gotta look over a museum artifact came to life. And you see the old elven man's like, it was fantastic. He's like, Goggery, did you enjoy your little look at the giant monsters? Was that very fun for you? Was that good for you? Did you like that? Goggery.
I just nod at him as we're leaving, like,
Goggery.
Yeah, he gives you a little fist.
Yeah, I hope Guy is a recurring character that we can put in our crew. I feel like they'd be a real asset.
Yes.
and as soon as you started talking to Bertrand, I was like, stop trying to recruit Bertrand. I know what you're doing. You can recruit
Bertrand,
them all
do you
you
ever want
want.
to leave this planet?
There's a
Wanna
whole
soar amongst
world.
The stars?
I've got a ship, get on it.
And I got a deal for you, Bertrand.
A whole new world.
Tons of new worlds.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'll
Alright.
pay for my drinks.
It's 20
However
gold
much they are.
for everything.
For 5 drinks. Oof.
Five drinks and some gorp.
That's okay.
Good old gold.
I will pay with the credits I got from looting the ship.
Oh, I forgot about those.
Yeah,
Did I
Val
s-
has a small stash.
The 150, right?
Yeah.
And one credit is equal to the gold.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna go ahead and put. This puts me at 169.
Nice.
Nice.
When you start to pay, I'll like push your hand away and I'll put the 20 gold out because I still have credits. Or are the credits electronically transferred or they're physical forms?
They can be both. So the credits that you found were in a bag. So those were physical.
Physical. Okay,
Yeah,
I'll put out
you
20
can
credits
also-
then.
Yeah, you can deposit them and make them digital.
Okay.
I don't have any of those credits written down. Why did I not write those down?
Because these
Val
was just
found
150
Yeah.
I found in a bag.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
Val looked for the smuggler's hold, and that's what she found.
Yep.
And then
Yeah.
Arza looted the pirate ship, and he found those.
Yeah.
And Zama so far has been an upstanding individual and hasn't found any extra money.
He doesn't.
Um,
Yeah, he doesn't care.
Yeah.
Me
Don't
either.
worry, I considered this something to share amongst all of us, and I'll put the credits up there.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go back to the ship at that point. I don't think.
Yeah,
I
we're
think
done
we've got
here.
what we came for. When we get back to our ship, though, I want to do a. Well, I want to talk to Homer first,
Okay.
but I want to make sure there's no stealth people on our ship.
Biometric sweep.
Okay. Yes, you want Homer to do a biometric scan. Okay.
Yeah, but I'd also be checking the hold to make sure there's no like tracking devices that could have been planted when we were picking up the cargo itself from our bay.
Okay. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Do you make it clear that you're doing that?
Oh yeah, I
help.
would. Yeah, I would tell everyone. I'd be like, "This is what I'm doing and why." That's a 4.
But if I helped,
But-
wouldn't that be the help action?
Yes, then it would be
Sure.
a 15.
Okay. You do not find any tracking devices, and when Homer does a biometric scan, you see the, once again, like geometric shape that is Homer, kind of literally do a scan of the ship. And it says, all life forms aboard are accounted for. You and the strange animal that I've really become attached to.
He didn't leave any presents in my chambers, did he?
He made a small puddle, but I dealt with him. You should really take him for walks, I think.
You're the best, Homer.
Or get a pee pad, maybe? And
Alright,
Lockjaw
well-
kind of like, you hear like the door open to your room, and you realize that Lockjaw has learned to operate doors, and he just comes like padding down the hall and
Had a
launches
dog like
himself.
that learned how to open doors. Not
Good
even the
boy.
like.
Good boy, Lockjaw. He's so smart.
What? Do you want me to give you a treat? Good job. You did what every other capable creature can do. I'm going to
Lockjaw, like,
prime the
sits
ship to
for you.
go.
Lockjaw looks at Arza, sits, like tilts his head, and then like sticks out a claw. Both.
I'm gonna shake it.
When we landed on the landing pad, is it like raised up above the earth, or is that just like a metal landing structure and there's like normal earth nearby?
Yeah, so the metal structure is kind of all surrounded by forests. So there are, we'll say that it's level with the earth. That there's kind of like forest, but walls around. You can see the trees, and of course, nature was incorporated in the structure itself. But yeah, you are at ground level.
While they're having whatever they're about to do, I'm gonna go outside and I'm gonna gather up some like dirt and plants and stuff.
Okay.
But like, you know how you do like sod, how there's like the rolls of grass and dirt? I'm
Mhm.
gonna try to like just grab like a big square of that to bring it in somewhere and to create a little like pea area, like animal relief area on the ship.
Nature handling, or nature, not animal handling. Nature.
You handle that nature. Just handle it.
It's a 2 either way, so let's do this nature. Oh wait, I don't have advantage on this. So 14.
Okay. That's good enough. Yeah, you get some. You get a little bit of nature, a little bit of grass. Not too many bugs, and yeah, you leave a little area in the cargo bay for Lockjaw to do his business.
I feel like even if you got the bugs, Lockjaw would probably just eat them.
Yeah. So Taylor, you did shake Lockjaw's paw claw. Okay. Lockjaw is a demonic patron. You've now sealed a deal. Ruby is now a warlock. Okay.
Ooh. Plot twist.
That's been the real
Wait, you're
bad guy this whole
joking,
time.
right?
I am absolutely joking. Lockjaw is not a demonic.
I could see it though. I could
Yeah.
see it.
I could tell
Yeah.
the whole time.
This is very
Yeah.
like Terry
Finally.
Pratchett's Small Gods. Like he appears as a
Yeah.
turtle sort of thing.
Ruby now
Okay,
has
but does he-
1/10 less of her soul.
But does he like me more now?
Yes, sure.
For
Worth
1/10 of your soul.
No, my goal is to get him to like me more than Arza.
Roll another.
And
animal handling.
Arza's goal is literally get this thing away from me.
That's better than the 9 you rolled the first time. Still
it's
not
true.
as good as Arza's 22. But Lockjaw does like you better. It's not better than Arza.
Make Arza roll it. Graham, roll an animal handling. I want to know.
Do you want me to roll it or do you want me to keep
Yes,
it?
Graham,
Being
roll
standoffish
it.
to Lockjaw. We're almost done here. I'm sure people are just riveted by this. Go ahead and roll an animal handling check.
Okay, it's gonna be poor probably. Animal handling? Yeah, it's gonna be poor.
Ah, that's still big.
Ow!
Still,
Oh, man. Even at disadvantage.
Taylor, I'm sorry.
still the favorite.
Oh.
There's something. It's like ours is playing hard to get, and Lockjaw is like he's.
I'll win you
taking the
over.
bait.
Yeah, so we still have that astrology spell cast on our ship. So I will prime our ship to
yeah.
go.
It's
Yeah, and then
astrology
we can
spell.
Use that to go. I don't understand magic in this space.
The spell's a Taurus. Okay, yeah. Okay. Cool. So, you prep the systems. What are all of you doing? Are you taking your stations, or are you just prepping to get back?
I'm staring
Uh,
icily at Arza.
Ours is gonna go to bed. It just goes to their room and takes their daiquiris with them. Whatever's
As
left
I
of my
walk-
daiquiris.
Every time ours is asleep, as I walk past their room, I'm gonna stomp extra hard. Knock whatever I'm holding against the wall.
I'm gonna go ahead and sit in the pilot's chair while Arza is sleeping. Just like the ship can fly itself and do it all its own jumps, and we have astrogation, but I'm just gonna like kind of keep an eye.
Okay. All right. So
I'll
we'll
hang
go
out
ahead-
up there.
Cool. So Val and Ruby are both going to be in the general cockpit area. Arza's going to take a nap. Zamba, what about you?
I want to go put the fabricator on autopilot to make some more trail mix.
You have like
And-
2 drawers full of trail mix. Are you making more trail mix?
Well, you never know. Might be a
Alright.
hoarder. Or not a hoarder, but a prepper. There we go. After that, fuck, nobody's injured, so it really doesn't. I'm kind of feeling a little bit useless. I guess I'll probably go up to the cockpit as well.
Okay. Arza, go ahead and roll a tech check.
That's a 15.
Or sorry, I meant the other Z. Zama, go ahead and roll a tech check.
Oh, a tech check. Just like a tech deck with the little tiny.
I was just thinking.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. 9.
Zama, you have overloaded this fabricator, and it starts to smoke a little bit, and the trail mix starts coming out burnt, and then it just starts kind of glooping out in large black, kind of like almost like sludge, tar like globules, and then you just hear it go, and it shuts down. And Homer kind of appears over your shoulder and says, it looks like you're trying to make trail mix. Can I assist you?
Yeah, because I didn't ask for mesquite. Sure, Homer. What is wrong with the machine?
It appears to be overloaded. If you'd like, I can do repairs, but it will take some time.
That's fine. I have a contingency. This will be a new flavor. Yes.
Do we smell the smoke up in the cockpit?
It's ventilated, but yeah, you probably get a bit of a whiff where it's like, oh, what's that? It's not an electrical smell. It's like burnt peanuts, I guess.
That sounds like it would smell pretty good, actually.
Yeah, we'll just slide this into a container and separate it from the rest. I'll eat this a different time. Yes. Oh, okay. Good job, Homer. Repair. Don't use your lightning thing, though. That shit hurts. Still bitter. Just saying. I'm gonna go up and check on Val and Ruby. Good job, Homer. Literally watch the what's that stuff called? The solidified hologram thing.
Oh, the light.
Hard light.
Hard
Yeah.
light. There we go. I'm gonna look back at the hard light figure and just literally look over my shoulder and then go join Ruby and Val in the cockpit.
Okay.
I like that Graham just walked into the void. I don't know if anyone else saw it. But when you come up and the smoke smell gets stronger, I'm like, what'd you do?
Homer's fixing a problem with the machine. It's broken. The fabricator.
So we're all gonna be real hungry for a while.
No, I got you. I got you covered, fam. I got you.
I don't want your trail mix, my dude.
Oh, dude, my dude. It's Homer's trail mix. Really, it's Odyssey blend. I didn't make it. It's not mine. I just
It sounds super great, but I know you were storing it for a purpose, and I don't wanna
Doomsday.
infringe on that.
Doomsday. Yeah. Saving it.
Did you just suggest to eat our dog?
No.
Val, did
Oh,
you
him.
cast World Seek?
But
I
you
didn't
did-
mean to.
Okay,
But
you're
in
okay.
in retrospect, though, like I would do it once we got off planet, maybe just because our we're far enough away that we would need to jump to get back, right?
You do have a jump, but you do have astrogations. So if cast correctly, that would bring you back to Nemo is the planetoid where
Yeah.
Red's Raft is.
And we know
Nemo.
it would be
Yeah.
correct because we had to use it to get there, correct?
Well, yeah, that's how the spell works. It
Mhm.
gives you a safe jump, and we didn't jump to get here, so we've still got that for going back. So then no, I was actually I was trying to click on it to expand it, but Roll20 changed, and I always forget that I have to click the eye
Yeah.
to see what it does rather
Okay.
than just click on the name. Yeah.
No worries.
So
All right. Well, we will go ahead and just leave it there since we're just a little bit over today. But yeah, when we pick back up, we will go ahead and do the jump and your return to Red's Raft and anything else that happens to come up from there. Man, do I want to do a final cutaway scene?
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah, I do. As the Odyssey, as we watch the Odyssey take to space, and we see inside everyone's doing their preparations, and Arza's getting ready to bed down, and yeah, there's a little bit of laughter, and everybody's kind of giving Zama just a little bit of shit about breaking the fabricator, and the camera zooms out, and we go to the underbelly of the Odyssey, and there's a small blinking red light set apart from all the other lights that the Odyssey would emit. And the light, as we get closer and closer, we realize is also making a bing, bing, bing noise. And we cut now to a figure sitting inside of a ship. And this figure is wearing a helmet with the mask of it, the mouth is set into a bestial snarl, with kind of these under teeth, these protruding kind of like lower teeth, and we see that on their view screen, the blinking light, they hit a button, and it pops up with a picture of Arza, several pictures of Arza in many of their different forms. And then we see a location in space pop up on the reversal map. And we hear this figure say, "Oh, sweetheart, you didn't think you could hide forever, did you?" And we zoom out to see that the ship that this individual is in is a battle frame, a Lexian battle frame, which is essentially a Gundam. And we see this large fighter plane sized robot take to the skies and void jump. And we will stop right there.
Bazing. Ooh,
I'm
that's
getting hard vibes from that I think of myself as a lion guy who came for River or whatever. Like, oh my god, I love it. I freaking love it. I'm way too tuned into the Firefly aspect of all of this, obviously. I'm just relating it all back to that for no good reason.
For excellent reason, Katie. I
Okay.
have made Firefly.
Okay.
This is fire. The way that I even like visualize the ship is very Serenity like.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Like when you're talking about the thing opening, I'm just picturing the bay doors opening and Mal and Zoe walking out, and I'm like, I guess I'm Zoe. I'm Zoe. Yeah.
You're
I'm
Zoe. You're Zoe for sure. Thank you everyone
Oh.
for joining us once again for our Saturday game of Dark Matter. We apologize for being off for 2 weeks, but hey, we needed it, and family time and all sorts of stuff like that, and health. It's all important. And taking care of yourself is the first and most important thing. But thanks for coming back, and we look forward to many more sessions where you can potentially join us and see what this intrepid crew gets up to. So we'll go ahead and go around. We'll go in reverse order, just so I don't put all the pressure on Taylor every single time. Go ahead and do some shout outs, tell us where to find you, and maybe what some of your projects are, and any thoughts you might have. So we'll start with Kyle.
Hi, Kyle Ozama. Good shit. good shit. Very very excited, and that was a very nice. Yeah, that was a good decision. To end on that, very ominous, and I like it. Um, yeah, I'm here. I'll do all the channel shit once we get around to you, and then all that stuff. So we'll just hop down to Katie. Yeah, just great time, and I told myself I was gonna keep Zama's mouth shut most of the time here because of the elves, and he understands the political aspect of not stirring the pot where you're not already welcomed. So this was a nice exercise in self restraint, with few slips here and there, but yeah. So we'll slide down to Katie. Katie, yourself. Where can we find you, and thoughts on today?
Hi, I'm Katie Quixotic. You can find me everywhere as Katie Quixotic. I was playing Val, the Kalashtar Paladin, Uther the Sepulchre, which is super fun, and I look forward to leveling and all the cool stuff that comes with that too. I can be found everywhere as Katie Quixotic. I already said that. Thoughts on today? That was amazing. I think it's super fun to get to do like intrigue and engage socially as much as combat, and I'm a person who loves combat. Like, I think combat and RP are equally fun to me, and being able to kind of like play off of like the idea, like Zama was like, maybe we should just go ask, and maybe their like organization generally knows things because they're all kind of like being looked down on right now, and like I hadn't thought of that, and I was like, that's a really good idea, and it turned out really well. And so I love the way that you can use everybody's different perspectives to like achieve something like that through just like getting to know the NPCs and knowing how to speak to them. And that was really fun for me. Anyway, yeah, I'm done.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that was not something I had necessarily considered either. I thought you all were just gonna take off, and that's not something I planned for. So that was an awesome RP moment for me. That was an excellent point, Katie. Okay. Next up is Graham.
Hi everyone, I'm Graham, or Graham Crackers as I'm known on Discord. You can find me at Twitter at GrahamHall802, where I post things like saying I love you every day, or some days when I remember to. Otherwise, you can find me on the 19th on Open for Adventure, playing in the Iron Battalion one-shot game, a recurring one-shot campaign, sort of, with a rotating cast. Besides that, you can find me on Fridays at Twitch TV/GrahamCrackers with the Goldshine Investigations, which is a campaign that I play a Tiefling Paladin in. And I love tonight's episode. Everything about it, from just it was just perfect. I have no words to describe how much fun I had. That's how
Graham,
fun it
as
was.
always, you are far too nice.
But
Last.
that's all I got.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Last but absolutely not least, and who often is first, Taylor.
First of all, I'm just glad to be back. I missed this a lot, and I needed it in my life, so it was wonderful. My family went on vacation without me, so I dyed my hair purple, and that's how much I needed D&D in my life. You can find me on Twitter at Lives and Lemons, and here as well at Lives and Lemons, but there's underscores. I am live Mondays and Thursdays. On Mondays, I tend to play a game, and on Thursdays, I've been making slime, but I'm not limited to slime. I will do other crafts as well. Just haven't gotten around to it yet. I thought tonight was awesome, and I'm really excited to see where we're headed. And Derek, of course, our illustrious DM, is always entertaining.
Do try to be. But I would be so much less entertaining without these wonderful, wonderful people. So thanks to them for joining me once again. I could not have picked a better team for this game. You're all awesome. I love you all. You're fantastic. Hi, everybody. I am Derek Sword. I'm DSword16 on Twitter. It's the same for Twitch and Discord. And you can find most of my projects there. But if you're looking to see me in other places than here every Saturday, every other Tuesday, I'm on Uncanny Adventures for a Call of Cthulhu Old West game, Shadows over Stillwater, and stuff has gotten real good and spooky. Where we've found some snake people, which are kidnapping folks and also spying on people with crystals. It's gotten weird, and one of our characters just ran off down a mysterious hallway. That's not a good thing to do in Call of Cthulhu. Come see what happens next. And that's Uncanny Adventures every other Tuesday at 7 p.m. I'm also the co-host of the podcast Monster Crush, which I do with my amazing co-host Heavenly. And every other week we post an episode where we talk about different monsters and ghosts and cryptids and aliens and paranormal entities and whether they'd be good on a date and how many smooches they might get. So we have another episode coming out here in this coming week. Definitely check that out wherever podcasts are found. And if you enjoy it, make sure to rate, review, and subscribe. We always appreciate that. We read reviews on the shows as well. And while I'm at it, I do want to throw a particular shout out to some of the amazing creators we have on this channel, especially on this show. I want to shout out Jillian of Midgard, who made our amazing character art, as well as this shirt that I'm wearing with this awesome Displacer Beast design, which is all hers. It's very soft. It's a very good shirt. I like it very much. And Katie, who makes these amazing flower crowns, like the one that she's wearing and the one that I'm wearing.
You
They match.
match.
Oh.
I happened to get a couple of these flower crowns for my wife for her birthday, and she absolutely loves them. Katie is very, very talented at what she does, and they're absolutely amazing. So if that's something you're interested in, check out Katie on Twitter. She's phenomenal, obviously. So with that, I will turn it over to Kyle, and once going to say thank you everyone for joining us once again.
Oh, I can't believe you didn't whip out the crown till now. That is yeah, wonderful accidental coordination. Very well done. And yes. Oh, I wish I would have known you were wearing your Jillian of Midgard shirt. I would have definitely repped that the same day as well. We'll do that in the future.
Everyone. I'll dye my hair purple. I'll start wearing a flash hat.
You're becoming assimilated.
To be fair,
No, I'll have to switch to a flower crown.
I went purple on the bottom, so technically we have two people with purple hair.
Oh, that's right.
We all have to do it. Well, Kyle, it's gonna be tough for you.
Yeah, I'll get a wig and I'll dye it. We'll see how well that works
dye
out.
The beard.
I could do that.
Dye the beard.
I don't know if I
Purple
can.
beard. You could do the glitter beard.
Oh, I could do
I
glitter.
And just do
hope to
purple
someday
glitter.
wear only stuff that's made by friends. So I'm half the way there already. Just need to find friends that make pants.
Big pin.
I did
Well,
learn
then you'd
how
have
to
to
sew.
wear them for the first time ever.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you so much, Derek. Thank you for running yet another awesome game. Yeah, like Taylor, like Taylor said, it's just good to be back. We had a few weeks off for some real world stuff, and now getting back into the groove of it and getting super comfortable with everybody. It is a welcome Saturday indeed, and we'll be back next Saturday for more adventures in the verse. As far as our schedule on the channels right now, we are at Mondays. We're doing our community campaign, which is normally community one shots, but once in a while we'll do short campaigns, 4 to 6 episode campaign, and we'll typically use content from like small creators, or right now it's D&D Beyond, some promotional D&D Beyond content, which is working out really great. And we'll just try to boost up somebody else in the community, the TTRPG community, and we'll do some just freeform stuff. We'll take people from the community and play. Also, if you're interested in educational TTRPG community stuff, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Would love to get would love to make the 1,000 sub mark by the end of the year. Not sure if we're gonna do it, but we're gonna try. And I've got down to posting about 1 video a week. I'm hoping to get up to 2 eventually, and hopefully other systems. Right now it's all D&D stuff, and hopefully to get other systems involved there. But I want to be proficient before I start that, so I need to, I guess, call upon the experience and the knowledge of other folk to kind of help out, facilitate that, so that we can share that and provide value for other people, so that they can learn some things and also just hang out and have a good time and impose good questions, so we can all learn some stuff. What else? Yeah. Other than that, we'll see everybody back here next week, roughly 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, I'm excited to see from that great zoom out that you did, Derek. I suspect some hanky actions happening in the future. Can't wait. Thanks, Graham. I appreciate your contribution to our future encounters, right there. And yeah. Jillian Wedgkin, hey, good to see you, man. Good to see you. And everybody else who joined us today, thank you so much for joining us. You guys are awesome. And until next time, unity is strength. So stand together and take care of yourselves and have a wonderful week. We'll see you all next time.